recording. Darius is once again, unfortunately, without computer, so we're gonna have to assist throughout the session. Also, hello,
Hi,
Darius.
Omar. I've been trying to reach you about your car insurance.
No, just stop right there. I am Omar Krieg. This is the Krieg Dominion. This is episode 3 of Segmentum 6. Yeah, 6 already? Let me see. My notes say yes, we are. Episode 3 of Segmentum 6. I have a really cool name for this segmentum, and I still can't remember it. I don't know why. My brain refuses to work with me because I always forget the proper order of words. It is a Fist of Blackened Mail. That's the name of it. And this is, of course, a Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader campaign starring Rev Everett as Brigadier Van Breeze Gizbath von Breeze, whatever.
Hello.
We have Lucian, or Darius as I tend to call him, playing as Jace Sebastian von Anko, our master helmsman. Alturios, playing as Icarus, our resident tech priest engine seer prime, and the only one that ever makes a tech useful look easy. And lastly, of course, my favorite sword aficionado, Warner, Take Me to the Hill Radic, I think was his blood name that he portrays.
Yes.
Playing as Reinhard der Amalungen, who also loves, amongst many other things, such as killing orcs, 99 red Luftballons, I believe it is.
Yes.
Surprisingly, that came up not long ago. Oh, it was, somehow it came up in my Thursday Alien RPG game immediately after the Wednesday Rogue Trader game. It was like, you mentioned something about 99 red balloons, and then the very next day, somebody else, also mentioning a German role-playing character, says 99 red balloons. I'm like, this is eerie. This is too eerie. I am trying so hard to get away from our normal intros. You have 1 minute to talk amongst yourselves and over each other about whatever it is that's new and exciting for you. But before that, Alteros just said something, and I don't want to miss it.
It is popular German culture, so
that's fair. That is fair. All right, you
I
ready? You have 1 minute to talk
change.
all over each other about whatever you want. Specifically, what's new and exciting for you. Ready? Go.
Well, you
Warner,
see this one time.
Warner, I think you have the newest news.
Well, maybe not the newest, but I accepted a job offer on Monday.
Oh, you did?
Nice.
Yes.
That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. That makes me feel almost like that message I sent you earlier today was.
I'm still going to be looking because the job is not in my preferred field.
Okay.
But it is a good paying job at a local employer, so I wouldn't have to move my kids, and it gives me time to continue to look for something more to my liking, or maybe I'll find out that I love this.
Hey,
but I am doing a crash course in learning to code in Angular now, so
is Angular another coding language?
Yes.
I mean, not that I'm a programmer by any stretch, but I've never.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty more.
Predominantly for web development, though.
Dang it, I was going to make a joke that it was a Germanic coding language.
Nice.
Funny.
Yeah.
Red balloon. It would have been a nice little segue. Anyway.
But yeah. Today I took the drug test.
Ah, yes. I'm assuming you didn't have to study for this one.
All of the background stuff. So.
Did you pass?
As far as I know.
Well, that's a good start.
Unless somebody's been drugging me secretly.
Well, we'll find out soon, won't we?
Never know.
It was me.
Drugging you. Damn it, Arturios.
All the big ones like Tylenol.
Ooh. Aspartame. I don't know why that came to mind.
Well, I'm going to be a grouch for the next 2 weeks because Kite's out of town.
Aww. Everybody point and Rev. Everybody point at Rev and laugh. Ha ha ha.
All right, look, Captain Single over here. Don't you start with me.
This is why I'm able to get away with it, and also I am not Captain Single anymore. Private Single.
I didn't know you got demoted.
Yes.
No, you get it because he's privately single.
Bingo! Because I'm private, all me, just me. exclusivity.
Except for,
I thought you meant private single in a way that we're not going to talk about on stream.
okay.
Well, for that you'll need
Solo
description
mission.
No, you stop that right there.
Wow,
I
Alperio
will-
said
I will
said to stop.
Disappear really quick if it gets weird in here.
Oh, brother, it's about to get weird. This is Rogue Trader, for fuck's sake.
I thought you were saying that you had one avocado and not two.
All right, it's about to get weird. 2 dragons.
You know, I haven't even heard Darius's voice once yet. Let's see if he's alive over there.
I'm alive.
Oh, good, he's alive. Hey, we can begin the game proper.
We just don't have a
I
face cam
still
to see
opened
his,
up the wrong freaking. Okay. Previously on Tithes of Acheron, a host of revelations. The purpose of the Lady Inquisitor's visit, although that was probably self-evident, which was of course the purging of the infestation and the routing out of Davros Hanet and his ilk. What might have been more of a surprise, however, was the revelation to limited parties, the true parentage of the Lord Captain, the slaughtering of a Death Watch kill team, the host of an alien warrior caste related to the infestation, the idea of the Lord Captain's genetic material potential being mated to another for procreation and preservation of the bloodlines to suit the Imperium, and now I really did not give the proper inflection for the way I wrote that sentence, so now now we return to the Ancient Seer Prime and his efforts to assist the Magos Biologos V Delta Scran and the purgation of the Acheron's Ferry. I also would like to point out, not that you guys haven't had a lot of opportunity, but nobody's pointing out the unique nickname, or the unique naming choice for V Delta Scran, and what it could possibly mean.
Well,
Still
obviously
nobody?
he's fifth.
Nobody's getting it, is it? Are they? Do I?
Well, Delta is change as far as I'm.
Is it
It
a
is.
Delta V joke? Is it a rocket
it is a Delta V joke.
Okay.
I'm changing
there
the
we go.
trajectory a little bit because you guys were about to all succumb to infestation. That's the core of the joke. He's changing it so that you guys are not going to all become infested.
Hey, there's a Kerbal Space Program Delta V planner.
I mean, I kind of felt like we were robbed of the chance to solve it ourselves.
Well, times always be.
I wasn't really paying
Changing.
attention that closely to his name. I just lobbed on to Delta and then just
Yeah, well,
know.
Delta is change. That much.
Yeah, Delta it definitely refers to change, and then V typically means velocity.
Yes.
Or so in this case, a change in velocity. Which velocity refers to not just speed, but direction.
yes, it is.
More
It is a
specifically,
vector
heading,
instead
I
of a
believe.
scalar.
It's a vector with direction and magnitude.
So, Icarus, are you ready to start rolling some dice and hopefully not rolling like you did that one night on Wanderers?
Let me roll the first 100.
Yeah, let's
Do
give
it.
it. Let's go, because the next roll is
Yeah.
actually a 1d100. So go ahead. Get out of the way. Okay, that could have been bad.
Eh.
We'll never know because that was just a burner. That was a burner roll, like a burner phone. All right.
Yeah.
So previously, you and Scran spent the better part of an entire day, and whatever that might mean for Tech Priest, because you guys can go, several hours beyond the standard 8-hour work shift that we would expect. That's the standard Warhammer 40K shift. Now you can go even further beyond that. So really, you may not even have ended a single day. You've just kept working and realized it's yet another day. Regardless, that was a little bit of unnecessary rambling. Regardless, your next role is to identify. I'm sorry. Let me back up just a tiny, because we did do this one role where you had to install everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one now is to further identify those crew members that are needed, that need to be, let's say, vaccinated. Wow, there's suddenly a cultural
Inoculated.
Let's go with that
Good.
word. It's definitely more omniscience sounding.
Purgated.
So this number, we're gonna generate the percentage of people that need to be dosed, and then there'll be some more rolls after that based on making sure the dosing takes place and it's effective.
So this is just gonna be a flat 100.
This is a 1d100. It's going to be whatever you roll plus 30 up to 75. All right, 75 it is. So 75% of the ship's crews for both, well, the Perilos isn't here. It's just the Acheron's ferry. So 75% of the Acheron's ferry have some level of infestation. Now, the information you are receiving is that it's very low level, like we'll just say level 0 or level. Like the infestation is there, but they haven't actively done anything. You're certainly not to the level of Yunko Bar, whose body appearance and physical appearance and facial form had already begun changing.
Barring him, I hope we don't have any casualties.
Yeah. So the next step, this is going to be, so basically what you'll do is out of those 75% of, I believe your ship's crew is something like 22,000 or something. So we're not gonna do all that. The next roll is scrutiny -10 to validate your original scans, and then a Medicaid challenging to actually administer the the dosing. So scrutiny -10 to, wow, I may have given away somewhat here. Give me a second.
If at any point you feel like you need a +10 Alterios, let me know.
I don't actually have Medicaid trained, so
That's fine. I have a workaround for that, and when we jump that bridge, I will explain it to you. Because you're doing this under the tutelage of V Delta Scran, and his presence and guidance is giving you some bonuses. Some of these, for instance, the scrutiny -10 would actually be like a scrutiny -30 if he wasn't standing over you. So and then for your Medicaid challenging, which would have been half of your intelligence, I think Medicaid is, because you weren't trained, that won't matter because, again, you have a Magos Biologus who lives for this sort of thing, standing there guiding you. The scrutiny is just to make sure that the information you are processing from the original sets of scans that indicate a 75%, you're just making sure that that information is correct based on the data you're receiving and updated telemetry. So basically, it'll be a scrutiny -10, and then whatever that result is, that's what you're going to run with, and hopefully you'll catch everything.
Okay. Give me a second. That is perception, which is a 50. And I'll spend a fate point to make it 60. Because
you want to take that +10 from the Lord Captain?
I think I want to save it for the Medicaid roll, because
yeah, that's what I was gonna advise.
Okay.
So 60.
That is 4 degrees of success. Yeah, so that 75% that you rolled earlier, it's actually a little bit lower than that, which might be, I mean, let's be honest, you're a tech priest. You have no real feelings or compassion for, but you do certainly feel some sort of relief in that, well, at least I won't have to spend all my resources creating this stupid series of vaccine shit.
Well, you can't turn the pre-servers into servitors.
At least they won't be. Yeah, you'd be losing your stockpile of pre-servitors.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess in some way there's some relief. Like somewhere in your head, the binaries are moving around. I'm sorry. No, that was right. The binary variables. No, Boolean variables. There we go. Yeah, the Boolean variables are flipping back and forth, but they eventually still equal out to balance 0. Or balance 1. Whatever. I don't know what to say. You get the idea, I think. All right. This Medicaid roll. So you're dosing. Basically, you're giving them iron nanites. Now, I don't know what the specific actual term is for the tech priests and their various augmetics is the generic term. I imagine somewhere along the way they have some sort of nanites in order to help integrate that shit at the cellular level, so that when you walk around with your 15 mechadendrites with 16 different implements at the end of each one of them, that they all do exactly what you want them to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what you are going to do is each of those 60-something% people of your ship's crew, you're going to dose them with iron nanites and some vapor treatment to fight the infestors. Basically, and I may have described this once before, I don't remember, but basically Scran's idea is that you get two sets of nanites fighting each other. Problem is that he is concerned with is that this is going to draw on the human body's biological reserves in order to facilitate this fight. Basically, the nanites are going to feed off of the host. So if the fight takes too long, the host could die because it's using up all your caloric energy that's being stashed away for future use. If you drop your body mass index too low and you don't have enough food coming in, there's problems, infections, and all kinds of shit. He probably goes on for like 2 hours talking about all the possible things. Well,
Do I hear any of this? Do I know about any of this? Because he's just invented Space Ozempic.
I mean, in a way, I suppose he has. However, all of this is probably being done behind closed doors in the room adjacent to the Enginarium. Whatever Icarus chooses to share with his Lord Captain, including the particulars about a Death Watch kill team being wiped out by these alien invaders that nobody knows anything about, that's entirely up to Icarus.
Yes, several people have information they may choose to or not to share.
Yes, that was kind of the point of that. I'm poking and prodding you guys to have role-playing scenes together, but I digress. So, you need to make a Medicaid roll. It'll be a challenging roll, and despite you not having it trained, Scran's supervision allows you to roll as though it were trained. You may want to take a fate point and the +10 from Lord Captain if you'd like. Those are options.
I'm gonna interject real quick, Omar.
Sure.
You just said unless you have a trained Scran.
I'm sorry. One more time.
You didn't say unless you have trained Medicaid. You said unless you have trained Scran.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I might have said that. I might not have. What I meant to say was that you don't have Medicaid trained. That's fine. Scran's watching you, guiding you, influencing you.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I just couldn't help but point that out.
Yeah, Medicaid challenging, and then whatever other stuff you want to throw on top of that.
So that would be +20, so that is an 83.
Yeah, and you can use my +10 on this.
I believe he did. And he got 4 degrees of success, so...
Hooray.
Yay!
This takes a few days to get everybody. And then there is a final stage. We'll come back to that in a moment. Basically, that final stage is another roll to see if there's people that are having problems with it. Basically, to review and make sure everything is done right. I will, at this point, open the floor to cover the next 2 days. So previously, we had something like 15 days, I think, before we arrive at Alpha Haneti.
We have just over 2 weeks in the warp.
Yes.
Which would give us enough time for all the training sessions as well as an ERP. So
exactly. So now let's do one or the other. Actually, you know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll finish up this final bit of Medicaid stuff. Stage 3 is a final scrutiny test to verify the treatment is sufficient and no further testing is required. This is just a standard scrutiny challenging. And then individual players will need to make their own rolls to basically determine how they react to being jabbed with a bunch of iron nanites and vapor treatment. A nebulizer, if you...
So it's 50, so this is a coin flip.
Omar, you're saying iron nanites? You really missed a chance to call them adamentites.
I suppose I could have, but yeah, you're right. I did. And I stand by it. Okay. Now, to cover the 2 to 3 days worth of time it takes to get through this entire process, that was a success, obviously. So everybody's good to go insofar as you haven't missed anybody. Everybody's been inoculated that needs to be. And it seems like it's working. We'll do the players' toughness tests shortly. And then we'll just do one blanket roll percentage test or something like that to represent the crew and who you might deteriorating effects of the process. In the meantime, there is talk of training. There is the talk of role play. I leave it to the 4 of you. What would you like to get after next? You have about 2 or 3 days of time to kill here, or for the training purposes, the whole trip. But go at once.
I'm just gonna shoot Lord Captain a message about the Death Watch team that disappeared.
Oh, they didn't disappear. They were
Well,
absolutely murdered by alien
yeah.
invader types. The gist of that was what Scran had told you was that the Death Watch kill team had gone in to recover a data vault, and in the process of gathering that data vault, the team had been killed, and the previous biologus that was running this operation or advising the Lady Inquisitor was infected. Excuse me, infested.
Since I take it Scran's still on board, and I'm pretty sure the Inquisitor's probably still listening to all our data slate chatter. I'm going to instead send it as a
You do have
a
a rogue trader can't secret language ships can't. I forget what it's called.
I don't know if my character knows that language. I'm just gonna have it be barbarically written on a scroll and have the
Vellum.
spider
Oh, have one of the
skulls that the special servo skull that Rev had made. And I'm gonna
Oh, the
crawl through the vents
Wikipedia
and just
one.
into his
You
office.
you
plop the
fixed
thing
him well
down.
enough. He's hovering with a slight wobble, but
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember
You
the
can
slight
still
wobble.
use it though. Did you know Vellum dates back to the 3rd century BCE?
It definitely hits you with one of those back to the first millennium when vellum was first discovered, or the process for making vellum was first determined.
Plops the report in your on top of your stuff and like scuttles back into the maintenance maintenance
I'm just
shafts.
imagining metallic spider leg chittering sounds.
I in my brain I hear the sounds of the replicators chittering around
Yes,
from Stargate.
great reference. I may or may not elaborate why. Not right now, though. Please continue.
I read it. I am torn because there is very little information here, and I'm an
Let's give-
information guy.
I wasn't given much.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, I wasn't saying that you were. That's my problem.
He's recognizing
what-
that even you were given very little information when you worked. But this is the Inquisition and the priests of Mars. Of course, there's not much information flow except for those that need it.
I'm kind of surprised he let that slip because like
I think he was doing it. I mean, I know why I was doing it, but I think it might be looked at as he was giving that to you as a form of establishing legitimacy.
mhm.
Like, why him versus anybody else? It was basically that it was his mentor that did all this shit. Praise be to his work. Praise be to the Messiah that I get to continue his work. You know what I mean?
He's kind of bragging almost.
No, I mean, in his
And
mind,
it's sort of
no.
like I've picked up this holy task and it is mine now kind of way.
Yeah, like obviously in his mind, he wasn't bragging. Like he
Yeah.
definitely was trying to basically give appropriate praise to his mentor who had done all the hard work, then it ultimately was sacrificed. So in some way, actually, he's looking at venerating him or perhaps sanctifying him, if that's the right word.
Yeah. He's looking to create a legacy.
Yeah, like he's trying to help him. He's trying to help out his mentor, who was always pretty cool to him, and then he went and died. Got sick and died.
I will carry on the work.
Yes.
I
I will be the legacy.
Mike's check. Am I coming through? I want to
Yes,
make
you
sure
are.
this
You
isn't-
are.
But
We're
I'm interrupting you.
We just keep talking over you. Sorry, not
No,
intentionally.
talking over is perfectly fine. I just was worried I had a technical difficulty. That's all.
I am a technical.
You were saying, Warner?
Said, I will be the legacy.
No, my interjection or my first response after reading this and contemplating it is going to be to schedule, or is to request, or something along the lines of, I forget the Inquisitor's name.
Sabrina
Her
and
name.
Drymos.
I'm going to politely request that Sabrina and Andrinos join me for some sort of either brunch or afternoon tea or some sort of pleasantries um, in either the stateroom or my private dining area.
Okay.
What appears to be an informal social invitation.
Sure.
And then she can either accept or not.
I'm updating something. So just a moment. Answer for you. Oh, that's weird. His men. Oh, what's he? What are you getting into? Ah,
What?
yes. Excellent gift. He will accept and probably will be escorted in. I want to make sure that others have an opportunity to do things. Not me stepping all over first.
Well, this is one brunch, not surely the full day, so.
No, I just don't want to get in the way of anybody else. All right, brunch it is. He is brought in by, well, some would call them left and right, the Game of Thrones reference. Some would call them angels. They might be careful on the exact phrasing they use. Others just call them space marines. One blood angel, one salamander. One steps into the chamber that you have brunch in, and one stays outside, presumably the only door in.
I bid the sons of the Emperor welcome, and then bow to the Lady Inquisitor and thank her for accepting my invitation.
The space marine that stays inside, and let's call him the blood angel. To say he ignores you is inaccurate. He just doesn't acknowledge your presence. He's clearly focused on whatever his specific task is, which is to stand there and look at you. The Lady Inquisitor, on the other hand, offers her hand, which I assume you take. It's the bloody ring thing.
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
I'm cranking up charm to 11 for this.
Yes. She has a wry smirk on her face and says, I see you've met with Sister Chatelaine Anit von Hammersmark. Thank you for this offer. I was actually getting a bit... Oh, God.
Peckish?
Yes, peckish. I could not think of that damn word to save my life. I knew it was there. I knew I wanted to use it. I just couldn't think of what it was. Anyway, yes. I was getting a bit peckish, Lord Captain.
Well, I hope that the ensemble I provide suits your tastes for the day. I have a variety of finger foods and a mix of savory and sweet and various um, delicacies from various worlds under my control. And depending on her level of interest, I will either explain what they are or simply allow her to try them. But I'm playing.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just at the moment. What's that?
No, I was about to interrupt and I stopped myself.
I'm playing a bit of the gracious host. And definitely some inane small talk, probably some various matters of things that happened on the ship, some inquiries about the current situation on Footfall. But at some point, I will drop a question asking if there's any further information about this contagion and has it been encountered on in any other worlds in any other forms.
Regarding Footfall, you would imagine that things have continued much as they always have. And frankly, That is the case. Although I did note your own house has a somewhat larger presence on foot. If you recall, you sent some people to bolster up your pseudo relative, whose name I cannot remember. Oberst, Dre Oberst, something like that. The one that told you about the treasure ship that you went and got the original artifact off of. You were basically going to turn into something like a field office to handle your trade deals between your domain and the Clix sector. And in that time, some of your presence has increased.
Yes, and he is merely he's given a title and everything there, just to be clear, but like he's not given anything beyond the scope of his capabilities.
Correct. Yeah, he's mostly just allowed to peacefully retire into what little might be left of his life. As I recall, he's just there to be the figurehead, much like the queen. Well, I'm sorry, the king now. As for the infestation, I have been receiving regular reports from Scran that in the most recent one, a large number of your crew has been identified as carriers, and that the work is on schedule insofar as eradicating them. Whether or not this infestation has been encountered before, and this is where some of her sly smirkiness comes back up. Come now, Lord Captain. You know I cannot reveal all the cards in my hand, for one of several reasons.
I'm aware that information is in and of itself a currency for those in power. However, it is a currency I am in need of. If he has a fully assembled relic, we do not know how far the infestation has gone or how much it has changed the bodies. If you have encountered this level of infestation or change somewhere else, any abilities or technologies that may be associated with these new forms, the knowledge of that would in fact be relevant to the oncoming conflict before we encounter them, so that I may prepare my troops in the training for such an eventuality.
Sound as though you have encountered some of these, let's call them complications already.
I've encountered one, but one is a far cry from any experience you might have gathered had you encountered them before in one or multiple places. Your experience, obviously, as an Inquisitor with an expertise in Xenos, would far exceed mine.
Ah, yes. I mean, I am part of the Ordo Xenos, so yes, theoretically, I should know much more about aliens than you would. I digress. She's obviously being very playfully coy in here. What she says is, I will allow you to infer what you may. I will share some information with you. There is a race of beings called the Opha that are mechanical in nature. They are indeed truly dangerous, and if we should encounter them, more information will be provided as needed. Let us hope for the best. Such does not take place.
And these nanites, are they how they propagate?
It is my understanding that they are something of a first wave.
Well, I may have intelligence for you, my lady.
Oh, do tell. As she probably motions for a servant to pour her a cup of amasec. If there
But
are
you may not
servants.
have
You know
many-
what? We're having a really high level conversation. There's probably no servants here.
No.
She'll pour herself a cup of amasec.
I have better things than amasec to drink in this room.
You have the finest amasec available on any ship in the fleet of one. Anyway, go ahead.
Big
I actually
E's
probably
private
have some.
reserve.
I probably off of several of my worlds have some very high levels of distilled spirits that would not be available outside of my domain.
I'm sure the uniqueness and the rarity therein would be enough to charge a small fortune if their
And they're
quality was dependable or better.
anyway. Um, I explained that several of the crew had dreams due to the infestation where it appeared that the creatures were begging or pleading to go home.
She narrows her eyes at you. Thought from in the warp at the time.
We were.
Sorry, I was thinking of my response and I heard Bubble Kegger kids from thing see a thief distracted me.
I can see why.
Yeah. Um it would appear that their ability to communicate and network internally is either amplified or it subsists on the. We have not been able to figure it out exactly, but as I'm sure you can imagine, they have a sort of hive intelligence. What we would probably best understand is, and I'm going to say this out of character because I forget the term that in character it would be, but basically a Wi-Fi network with, eventually connectivity to the actual internet. And so what she's explaining is that amongst themselves, these different nanites and presumably larger things create a hive intellect sort of thing because it's a constant ongoing sharing connection and then ultimately it connects to something else. And because they're in the warp, it is either further amplified or supplied by the energies of war. And I forget, I want to say it's something like etherics or something is what the 40K Wi-Fi is called, but don't quote me on that because I don't know what exactly it's called. If they even have an actual, pretty sure they do.
Well, she said I'm going to reference her comment saying that we hope we don't encounter. I forget the name of the species. You just said it.
Opfa.
The Opfa themselves, and that we hope to not encounter them. But I'm going to ask if they have any examples of how lethal the Opfa are.
You could see her jaw working as she tries to figure out how best to explain very classified information to you. She takes a moment or two to explain this. Can you make a awareness roll, please?
Certainly, give me 1 second.
And there is no threat or anything like that. This is just
Sorry about that. I am where I can make the roll now.
mm-hmm.
I had to limp from another room. Figure the math out in just a second.
I would imagine several degrees of success.
Awareness is based off perception
Mm-hmm.
with a +10. Hold on a second. Yeah, I think that just passes. Hold on. My math is not mathing at the moment. My brain's short-circuiting.
What's your
So we've
perception?
got 46 with a +10.
So 56, so
56.
3 degrees of success.
Oh, I looked at the wrong roll. I was looking at the 50. That's why I was confused. I was looking at
Yeah.
the 58 going, no, that doesn't pass.
That was her rolling to see if she spots what you spot. What you spot is at the mention of the Opfa, at the mention of how dangerous or how deadly they can be, and the fact that she's not answering right away, you can see in the body language of her Space Marine Blood Angel, he's getting a little twitchy. Might be a bit of an overstatement, but you can tell from a shifting of his shoulders, the way his weight shifts from one foot to the other suddenly. If you were a betting man, he might be sweating under that, and not because he's in a helmet. And she sees that you notice his, let's call it discomfort.
She's got a high awareness, or at least above 58.
Yeah. Well, she noticed. That was her to see. I rolled to see if she would notice that you noticed.
Yeah, but you didn't ask if I was trying to hide my noticing or not.
Ooh, that's a good question. Did you?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I may make it obvious with a raised eyebrow that I notice.
Yeah, I mean, seeing a Space Marine being visibly noticed or visibly nervous is definitely a disconcerting moment for anybody that's not a Space Marine. I come from a place where if the Space Marine is shitting himself, we should be running. Not that he's, actively shitting himself, but I digress. So she continues to contemplate. Go ahead,
it's just I immediately went back to my Space Marine from Death Watch.
Uh-huh.
He would just be like, you shouldn't be scaring the mundanes like this, brother.
Yeah. Except this time, the Space Marine actually is a little concerned right now. He's definitely having a moment.
The Space Marine actually has, like, in his personal quarters, a T-shirt that says, "If you see me running."
Yeah, he probably does. Actually, if anybody would, it'd be the Salamander. Blood Angel would just be like, if you see me running, you're fucked.
The Salamander might just be like, "You look tasty."
Yeah. So after a moment, and then another moment, finally, Andrymos says, I know of a kill team, Death Watch Marines, that ultimately wiped 6 good Marines. Killed an act. Now, regrettably, this is an unfortunate thing that happens from time, but in this particular case, it was wholly unexpected.
Oh, yes. Space Marines do fall from time to time in the Emperor's service, as evidenced by my collection of artifacts from various chapters.
Yes, I'm sure these are all miniatures that you painted yourself. This is a joke.
No, I don't. Well, yeah, like, no, I'm doing this to see if I can get. Maybe I'm stupid, but my character is seeing if he can get a rise out of the Space Marine.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
By trying to be a blood magpie.
I'm not entirely sure about the blood magpie reference. I'm just thinking to myself, what's the
So you've played the Dawn of War games, right?
Oh God, a long time ago. Been quite a
So,
while.
so the Blood Ravens are.
Yeah.
The Blood Ravens, especially in the second game, had a bunch of artifacts that belonged to other chapters, and so the joke became they steal artifacts from other chapters.
I do remember hearing something about that in one of the games. When I think about it. This is a Blood Angel, just to be clear, but
right.
No, he was basically saying that I was a Blood Raven stealing relics from chapters.
And thus,
but if he,
yeah,
basically, I'm willing to see if I can get a rise, but I'm also essentially at the first sign of any reaction from him, I'm going to be raising a hand and saying, "My lord, I jest. Were I to acquire any of the holy relics belonging to one of the chapters, they would immediately be returned to an official of the Imperium." If I get a rise.
Yeah, he gets a little upset or whatever, but he doesn't really do anything. It might be more
Does he look
construed.
at me when I say that?
He
Because
does
that
look
would
at
be enough.
he does look at you for a second, but then he catches
That
himself and
would be
goes
enough
back to
to
his normal.
that would be enough to warrant the response that
Yeah.
I would not dare to keep such relics of the Imperium, and that I ask that he indulge my humor.
I think more importantly, Andrymos looks at you a bit sternly and she says, "Please, don't rile up my Marines."
I said, my lady, I simply wish to see if I had the ability to do so, or if there is stone faced, as some say. He held up admirably.
What you will never know is that you made him think about something other than his fallen comrades. At any rate, I think she plays it off and hides her facial expression behind a cup of Amasek. And simply says, I am sure there was more to this request for a brunch than jests and poking the bear.
A bear that, should worse come to it, will be watching your back and hopefully be helping mine in some sense.
I assure you, and I hope you take no offense to this, Lord Captain. His role here is strictly for my.
My lady, if the ship falls,
If the ship falls, we will look to you.
no, I say, my lady. Oh, I wasn't. I was actually finished. I was holding for a second, but my lady, if the ship falls, I said, then your safety will be in jeopardy.
And we
His
will look
presence
to
in
you.
defending you defends the ship by its very nature.
At any rate, Lord Captain,
I also inform her that I wanted to let her know that I will be transitioning my flag back to the other vessel upon our exit from real space, and would she like to accompany back to the other vessel, or would she rather remain here?
so you're going to make the Severed Hand your flagship? Is that what I'm hearing?
I am going to transition over to the Severed Hand, yes.
She simply nods, understanding. In fact, she even says something like, a reasonable move that most should make, since the Severed Hand is the larger ship. At any rate, wherever your flag is, so shall I be until I am returned.
I say that I do enjoy the flexibility that this vessel offers me,
The ferry or the hand?
the ferry.
It is a good ship. Seems to have held up well, despite all the things that have been thrown against it.
I regale her with a couple of the more detailed adventures of some of the things that have happened, even though she might be well aware. I definitely add a
is.
few. I add a few embellishments in, um, of which, because of Winter's report, she may know are full embellishments, but I still lean into it with a smile.
I think she calls you out on one in a gentle sort of way, and then just ignores all the rest, having already proven her.
Oh no, I'm telling fish tales, and I know that I'm telling fish tales, but I'm also doing it for the entertainment value of telling fish tales.
Sure.
And from there, I lead into some other relatively idle talk of various comings and goings, and work in a flirtation or two.
At that point, we'll just simply transition to another scene.
Well, I didn't want to flirt with you, Omar, so.
No, I know, and that's not why I said that. I don't want to linger too long on any one scene.
Oh yes, yes.
Others.
No, I figure.
I also felt like you hit the gist of what you wanted here.
Even if the hook is ignored, I might as well bait it.
I mean, she is going to ignore your flirtatious advances, you scallywag.
Yes, more than likely. But
and she does it with much more aplomb than Princess Leia ever could to Han Solo.
Well, you know, like I said, do you want me to at least make some? Do you want me to at least make some sort of charm or?
I mean, you could, if you want to make a charm roll, sure. We'll see what happens of it. What is your charm at? Like, don't roll above a 95?
Pretty much.
Especially once you throw in fate points and shit.
I don't need to.
I love how you're
So,
like, I don't need to do that.
That depends entirely upon what you're working on, because there could be situations with penalties.
There
you
could
throw
be.
okay. What sort of penalty are you throwing at me for this, Omar? Give me my roll.
All right. Well, first off, cold fish -20.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got. She's dedicated to the mission as the Inquisitor of Footfall, which has a lot more range than you might think.
Oh no, it's the sector and beyond.
Mhm.
But
I mean, she's not. So I will say this: I've never specifically stated that she was the Lord Inquisitor. I have called her a Lady Inquisitor. Generally, in 40K, a Lord is a Lord, whether they're male or female.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you may infer whatever you like, and that's exactly what both she and her Rosette want you to believe. It's whatever you want.
Well, so let's go down here. I have
Which really
plus
makes me
10
want to play that goddamn Imperium Maledictum campaign that I picked up recently.
so I have plus 10 interaction to high authority in formal situations, which this is.
She absolutely is high authority.
I also have a plus 10 fellowship check with nobility, which she is.
She's not nobility specifically.
The kind of authority that she throws around, she's noble.
Okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. So you've canceled out the cold fish modifier.
My charm is at a plus 30 bonus.
+20 and then +10 more for what? Talent or something. I'm sure.
Yes, talented.
Oh
I've
yeah,
got
it's
talented
talented.
charm plus 10, and then
Yeah,
plus
+20
10 and
from
plus 20.
training.
Yeah.
All right.
The kids have been tucked in by me.
What does that
What?
leave you at?
Read the Bible sometime between now and 10:30.
I couldn't understand what somebody just said.
That was probably my wife in the background.
Oh, was that you?
Okay.
I didn't know who. I thought it was Kite. And I was like, wait, that's not. He led with that this earlier.
Yes.
I was confused. At any rate, you are at a net 30, I think.
So yeah, plus 30 on top of my fellowship of, I believe, 69. Let me pull the right PDF open. Right? Yep. 69 plus 30.
99.
99.
Yep. Which with our new rules for limitations on skills is don't roll above a 95, basically a 96 or more. That is a 54, so 4 degrees. She is going to, I'm trying to see what I count. I think in the conversation that you guys are having, she's gonna hit you with one of her own little bits. Spend a fate point. Damn it! She attempts to do a tactic that you actually are familiar with. And your charm somehow outwits her blather.
Well, there's clearly some blathering involved on my part, but
yes, you outblather her in your charming flirtations.
The flirtations are almost more pragmatic because of the subject matter, and so the flirtations almost take on more of the form of sort of a what sort of great works for the Imperium could two powerful individuals united be, is sort of the general, not necessarily outright saying we should be
Yeah,
a
but
thing,
the
but basically
suggestion of what
hinting.
if a rogue trader and a Lord Inquisitor happen
No,
to
not
work
not even
together?
that direct, but merely say, maybe a story about how an unlikely pair found each other and became all the more powerful and influential for it, and the great works that they did for their kingdom. You know, I'm more subtle than.
Yeah. Well, not much more, but more. And
No,
I think she.
that's the quickest example I can come up with, something that'd be a little more subtle than just simply saying.
Sure.
But I'm not going to say anything directly that would lead to a rejection at this point, because I don't know if the sister has approached her with the offer.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I think she just smirks, tries to blather out a response, regaling you with some sort of tale about Guliman and his blue-skinned girlfriend. That may or may not be true. No, she actually would not.
Yeah, that I feel like
she would not use that one as an example.
heresy of the greatest order. I would be. Oh my.
Yeah. I think she makes some sort of suggestion about
Well,
some
let me stop you before you. All I'm
Yeah.
looking to get out of this charm is for her to leave thinking the better of me.
Sure. Well, she has that. I mean, she's also got demonstrable proof that you are certainly a worthy ally, or at least asset. At this point, probably closer to ally.
Well, I was going to say I'm hoping the charm would move that asset meter more towards ally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've definitely proven helpful in the past and continued resilience, and now this charm. So definitely leaning much closer to the ally side of things.
But
You
I feel
didn't.
like someone else.
The most important fact here, though, is that Brogadillo does not end up with a face full of Amasec.
Ah, yes.
That said, who else would like to try their hand at some roleplay scene of some sort? I will remind you there are a number of people aboard ship that would not have otherwise been here, such as the sister Chatelaine Anit Amishmark, Captain Marcus Andros, I think that was his name. The former Seneschal is back as the new Seneschal, Marcellus Thale. And to a limited number of people, also the uncle of Brogadillo and Breeze.
You mean one?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, me and the ecclesiarchy don't get along, so I'm not talking to her.
Sure. Now,
Oh,
she is
I
part of the
will be-
ecclesiarchy, but if imagine the ecclesiarchy is a large family and she's one of the younger sisters.
it is literally said on my sheet, noted as enemy ecclesiarchy. So no, I'm not talking to
That's
her.
that's totally fair. That's totally fair. Besides, we're talking about Catholics and Protestants here, so you probably should stay on your Catholic side.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Damn it. Well, there goes another one. So, Darius, we're up to
Sorry.
you. Darius, any scenes that you would like to get into?
Oh dear. Darius, if you're able, could you give us some sign that you're awake or not
I am
having a
awake.
bad time?
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna make a Ouija board reference, but I couldn't remember the name. What's the name for that thing that you push around with your fingertips?
It is Ouija.
Is
The
that
Ouija
the
board.
actual Ouija?
Ouija board, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
The-
that's the board. There's the board, and there's pretty sure there's a name for the
Oh,
little thing that
it
you move
starts with a
around.
plea. Like,
Oh, it's a
like,
compass. Pretty sure it's a compass. I could be
I
wrong.
thought it had a weird name like Blanktiff or something.
Anyway, sorry, Darius. We asked a question, you made a response, and we done freaking wandered off on it. What was your answer, please?
Yes, I'm awake.
Okay, good. Any particular people that you want to interact with? Any scenes you would like to go for?
Not that I can think of offhand.
Okay. Alturios, you mentioned possibly something, but then you're like, no, I'm not gonna meet with her.
No, I'm definitely not meeting with the sister, but
Yes.
me and Scran are probably taking the time to shoot the proverbial shit, as it were.
Sure. You can have
Um,
a more open-ended conversation about random things that have specifically related to your at this moment, if you like.
Actually, it's probably been a while since I've been near any other like um
It's been like close to a year since you left Footfall, so yes.
to any other like news from like what's going on with like uh with the Mechanicus, the rest of the Brotherhood. I don't know. I don't. How do they refer to themselves? The Brotherhood?
Um,
The-
I suppose. I mean, there's also, my fellow priests of Mars. works. Brother this, brother.
I didn't think they were used the brother.
They may not. I'm not sure. I mean, we already know I'm deficient in lore knowledge. It's within the Adeptus Mechanicus in particular. I'm much less. No, I was right. Much more deficient because I don't know a lot of
Just sort of like
current events,
you
sort
know
of thing.
current events and anything new and interesting popping up out of
There
some of
is
the
talk of one of the explorator fleets and some of the disciples therein. Shit. I want to say it was disciples of Thule.
Ooh.
I think
Ah,
that
yes,
is
I
the
was
one
right.
that's in the book.
Disciples of Fools. Let's see. One more page. Disciples of Fool. Something. So he kind of goes into the story of Archmagos, Paracelsus Thule, who had a rather large explorator fleet from the Elixir Mechanicus, and about 300 or so years, maybe a little bit more, they wandered off and disappeared. So there's
Mm.
talk about these disciples of Thule, as they are referred to, and it's a known mystery amongst many in and around the Calixtus sector, Koronus Expanse. There are some that believe some or all of them actually ended up deep in the Koronus Expanse. But more importantly, what he really regales you with is that a small, not necessarily a ship, actually what had been found recently, and by recent, this was about 10 years ago, somewhere in the Calixian sector. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up an image. One quick moment.
Altrios, not to interject too much, but am I remembering? Didn't that arm you found have like a Thule marking on it?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Okay,
It's been
I'll
a
shut up then.
while.
So there is a dead world in the Calixtus sector. It is in the periphery. If you were looking at a map of the Calixtus sector, it's in that north part. Northwest-ish, basically north of. Anyway, long story short, it's called Sleeve, and it's being referred to as a Thulian void ship incapable of entering the warp. Its design was such that it was not meant to ever enter, but it showed up. It was discovered about 10 years ago in deep space, in the deep interstellar space, that is. And it's not sure, nobody knows how it got there. Like they attempted to track its trajectory and then use a back plot to figure out from the direction it had come, and there is effectively nothing in that general direction. A working theory is that it was part of this Thulian fleet. Somehow it came out of the warp of its own accord and ended up in that particular region of space prior to being. Nobody alive, few dead bodies, and several skulls, all of which were depleted. No information regarding their history or their past. Almost he actually, as well as a tech priest with a vocoder over their face could do. He's got a bit of a smirk. He says it was as if it were a ghost ship, a literal ship of dead bodies and no stories. And he's making his attempt at humor, and you realize over the course of the last day and a half, his sense of humor is very wry and dry, and so sometimes it's hard to tell when he's making a joke like that. especially when he consistently speaks only in binaric, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, but binaric probably doesn't lend itself well to humor.
Yeah, it does not have a sarcasm font.
It's probably just like a prefix humor.
Yeah, prefix humor. Yeah, exactly. It's humor, and you're like, but that
The
doesn't make any
parody check
sense.
on his binary came back as false, and you knew he was being sarcastic.
Yeah, it's like prefix. It's like statement, humorous, something, 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 and you're like, I don't understand how that makes it funny though.
So he's a
Right.
funny mechanicus, and you're sitting there going, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I mean, that's certainly a way to look at it. Yes. Warner, I see you're back. Do you have anything you would like to get after?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
A couple things.
Okay.
First off, Warner is going to be not Warner. Reinhardt
Uh-huh.
is going to be very particular with all of these guests on board the ship, that security and decorum and things are up even above their usual. Like, Reinhardt doesn't run that type of tight of a ship normally. He allows a certain amount of informality, and yeah, not in front of the rogue trader, of course, but
Really?
this?
In front of my rogue trader?
but he's a little bit more like the cool uncle kind of authority figure. But right now, the cool uncle is not cool at all.
The cool uncle is angry.
Right now, the cool uncle is like high alert, constant vigilance. We have to look our best. We have to be our best. Not only is this reflecting on the rogue trader, but the fact of the matter is the Inquisition is on board. And if you're not afraid for your very souls, you should be.
I think in the morning, after 1 or 2 days of the 2 Death Watch Marines being, you do get a report from some of the junior armsmen. Now, none of these armsmen are part of your, let's call them the honor guard squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are other armsmen attempting to, quote unquote, goad the Space Marine into a response. Now, I want you to imagine for the moment, famous British guards. I don't know what they
Yes.
This is along those lines, and then eventually, one of them will do something that they're totally allowed and required. The limit of response or whatever, where they'll just step forward and be like very loud and boisterously. They'll say something much better than what I say, but basically, back the fuck off. But and so there's a report that there's a similar incident. Nobody was injured, thank Jesus, or I guess thank the God Emperor. But there is definitely an armsman that is currently praying to the God Emperor that he does not get shoved out of an airlock for this dumb stunt that he did.
Well, if they're not already afraid, then I will put the fear of the God Emperor into them.
So what you're saying is he basically asked for ID from the general's wife at the checkpoint?
No, you're supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were saying that's what he did. What he did within the realm of.
I mean, it was nothing like super crazy dumb, other than the fact that that's a Space Marine. You don't fuck with a Space Marine. And
Oh, you think he's hard? You think he's got what it takes? Yeah, I see tougher ogrins.
Oh God, perfect. He says that line within earshot. I see tougher ogrins, and that's when the Space Marine stepped forward and said something about comportment.
Yeah.
And that's how your armsman ended up in the brig and later with a report on your desk saying, oh, by the way.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the brig and light into them in the angriest German possible.
Oh, I was about to make a comment that I probably should not say.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
Yes, please
full loud
I'm
very
picturing a particular
nearly
scene from a particular movie.
I was picturing the
very
scene of the mustache man inside the
no,
bunker near the end.
not quite Downfall, which I believe is what you're referencing.
Is that the name of the
Maybe.
movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
German,
I've really been wanting to watch it just for.
It's a great movie. I
sure it
do
is.
recommend it.
German Full Metal Jacket, basically.
Oh,
But
wow.
yes, yes.
The one that's had all the memes of other speeches added
Yes.
onto it.
Steiner rode across the border. They're marching down with their big stumpy pots. Sorry, please continue.
Mhm.
I'm going to hell.
So it's going to be loud, it's going to be angry, and it's going to be near incomprehensible. But only near.
What level of
They-
profane?
Oh.
He was in the guard. The level of profanity is as only a veteran can use.
Thus, the answer, all.
So, after that, uh, there will be a calming down, and the rage will subside to ice. At which point, Reinhardt will very quietly just write out the punishments for these individuals. And the first thing on the list of punishments is that they are to follow Reinhardt to make an immediate apology for their behavior.
Okay, this will be entertaining. Please continue.
And then following that, there'll be like lots of latrine duty and then some mutant catching stuff.
Would you like the Space Marine in question to be on call for this apology? Actually no, because I'm the one making an apology to myself, so we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It revolves. It looks like something like this. One absolutely shitless scared armsman kneeling before a Space Marine with a dark green pauldron. Profuse apologies made, and the salamander simply going, agreed. Dismissed.
After they slink away, I will make my own apologies. It is entirely my failing. I have not run a tight enough ship to keep these men from.
Master Reinhardt, hold your tongue. I have heard of you. Orcs you have slain. The example you have set can only be unimaginable. Your failings are not nearly so wide as they believe them to be. At the end of many days, individuals' own failings are their own.
Do you ask him to sign your?
I thank you very much for that. It is more than I deserve.
Do you ask him to sign your copy of Codex Astartes?
No, I do not. But while
He doesn't say
I-
anything more, by the way. He resumes
Yeah.
his stoic stance and just waits for you to
Yep.
finish whatever and fuck off to wherever you go.
I will flush bright red, but I will stand a little taller, a little straighter, a little prouder as I walk away, leaving him to get back to what his duties are.
Which are to remain ever stoic at the portal between here and wherever the Lady Inquisitor is next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's obviously all about free choice. And you could choose to be a moron or you could choose to be a better person. At the end of the day, that's your choice. That was his message.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Anything else? Or shall we return to Alturios and his newfound buddy continuing to
Reinhardt
work away?
is going to keep his eye on the Lord Commander as much as possible to wait for that opportune moment that Marcellus hinted at.
Yes.
But I'm a bad cold read. So,
So you're saying, Rev, whenever you're ready?
you know,
Yeah, if you
uh,
guys want to do that, see, now's a good time to do it. Or not. It's up to you guys.
You want to come in just after I've finished brunch and maybe I'm still in the chamber by myself with all the
Oh, yes, that
leftover
would be
food and
perfect. You make
alcohol?
this.
sure,
You make the
yeah.
apology to the salamander, and that's when you get called in to the Lord Commander. Lord
No,
Captain.
not called in. That's when he's just like, hey, I need to go talk to the Lord Commander. Where is he?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he
Actually
might
in
be in a
there.
meeting. He's up here.
Yeah. So you have to go back to the
no.
salamander.
You make the apology to the salamander while he's standing outside the door guarding.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
While he's guarding the brunch room, that's where he's making his apologies. Because remember, it's the blood angel that's inside with you.
Yeah.
And so you
they,
make your
they
apologies.
leave and you come in.
Yeah, you make your apologies to the salamander, and then a moment or two later, out comes the Lady Inquisitor and the other Death Watch, and they all three just wander off to wherever they gotta go to.
I will make the smartest salute possible and then hurry inside to the Lord Commander.
The salamander nods at you. The other two, not so much ignore you, but just don't recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please take it away, the two of you.
I motion at some of the empty, or some of the still partially filled food containers and bottles of alcohol, and I say, would you like a taste of your one-day privileges, future Lord Amalungen?
Oh, that is most kind of you. I will not hesitate. And I'll sit down.
Sweets, beer, savory.
And I will go after the meatiest looking morsels I can find.
I'm sure I've
And
got bacon wrapped something or the equivalent thereof.
yeah. And then as time goes on, I'll make a little bit of small talk. And I'll just... So, my Lord Captain, I have come across some information, so why it is up to me to relay it to you is still somewhat confused in my mind. I have grasped at something I think crossing your mind not infrequently. The nature of your parentage has been made clear to me.
Well, we all know who my mother is, dear sir.
Well, yes. Obviously, the warrant of trade and the house and all of that. But your uncle sought me out. And,
Daddy dearest came and got you, did he?
Nine. Your uncle. Marcellus Sale is the younger brother of your father.
I look at him basically with sort of a blank, like, drink halfway to my lips, sort of somewhat frozen expression.
Why he never chose to reveal this to you himself, I do not understand. Why he picked this time and mineself to reveal, again, is nebulous at best. And yet, it has happened, and so I find it intolerable to try and hold mine tongue. I was bid to wait for the proper time, but I know of no time more proper than the moment.
I slam the drink down on the floor and go, and you waited till now? No, I'm kidding. I don't. My character may have these intrusive thoughts himself about, like, being super reactionary, but he doesn't actually do that.
I see that as totally being, yeah, no. He definitely sees that moment in his own head. In fact, if this were a TV show, we might have that, and we cut right back to just before doing all that. And then we have the actual response.
I thank you for bringing this to my attention. Do we think it's sincere, or do you think this is some sort of play?
Well, I am not blessed with social graces. I'm a simple man. But Thale seemed to be without pretense, as far as I could tell. It was an unguarded moment. Of
I'm
course,
going to
it's
call down.
possible that a
Go ahead.
socially adroit man like himself could manufacture an unguarded moment to create some sort of outcome for himself, but I don't know what that would even be. There seems to be no benefit, as far as I can calculate. I think he may be, in some small way, afraid to broach the topic with you himself.
I am going to. Do I have any sort of computer access in this room, or is it strictly for a dining area?
I mean, I'm sure you can always. There's always an intercom system of some sort, at least.
No, I was wanting more of like access to the ship's database.
Probably not. But let's just wave our hands and say within a few rooms, there's some sort of shipboard network access point. Like it wouldn't be that hard to find one on this deck.
Well, after so this is just after leaving this conversation with. I'm not done with the conversation yet. I'm just saying two things I'm going to do, so you have a chance to prepare.
Mhm.
I will be requesting whatever family records we have of Thale, and I will also be calling up the medical office and asking, with all these recent medical screenings, do you by chance have a recent medical report on Marcellus Thale that I could peruse? HIPAA be damned. I am the Lord Commander.
Point of fact, my lord. You are the Lord Captain. I am the Lord. Sure. The medical, the ship's chief chirurgeon, whatever the fuck it is, indicates that Thale has had a medical screening shortly after arrival. And because he perceives this as the more important hot topic of the day, does indicate that Thale is, as best as he can tell with the information he's been made privy to, he is free of infestation.
I ask if, for my own, if for reasons of my own, if a complete copy of his medical workup, including genetics, could be sent to me.
I will. Yes, I can have that information for you in a few hours.
Okay. But anyway, so back to the current. That's later. But back to the current conversation. I ask if there have been any other comings and goings that he is privy to during the Lady Inquisitor's stay on board our ship. And I would likely inform him that we may be facing a threat that has killed the children of the Emperor.
That was directed
As
at
in the
Reinhardt.
chapter.
The children, you mean Astartes?
Yes, the angels of the Emperor. A team of them
This
of the.
this threat could clip the wings of the angel of the emperor?
It appears it clipped a whole team of them.
That is not good news. Well, at this point, Reinhardt is going to produce from Lord knows where his new sun rifle and say, I suppose it is a good thing that I just got a new upgrade.
With 2 Ds. For the extra pimpin'.
So, this is only a possibility as of now, yes?
It appears their encounter was elsewhere, but we do know that the same species, or what's related to this infestation, was responsible for their deaths. We may pray that whatever the infestation that we encounter is not so far advanced.
Yes, I dare say.
I said when we were discussing it, the threat appeared to even get to attract the attention and possibly the unease of one of the angels.
Surely you jest.
I may jest at times, and I may have jested with him, but not now.
What a dreadful thought.
No response to me jesting with an angel of the Emperor?
Far be it from me to reprimand the Lord Captain.
No, I was just curious if it drew a
Also,
reaction.
I just lit into some other people for probing. It's like, well, they can handle things themselves, clearly. Yeah, that is very disturbing. I shall endeavor to make the men ready, or as ready as they can be.
Hey, that sounds like a segue into training.
Mm-hmm.
It does sound like a segue into training. Would you guys like to do that, or is there more RP scenes that you'd like to get after?
Actually,
I don't have any more RP.
have we
But it seems like
been in a combat encounter since we did our last one that actually had a combat to it?
no.
Okay. Can we do more training?
We can train them, but just the things they don't have +2 on.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could train on things that they haven't already trained on. If that phrasing feels weird for some reason, but I might be overthinking it.
Did you keep track, Omar, of which ones they've gotten 2
Nope.
advances in?
Nope.
Well,
I'm gonna have to rely on your good faith.
Okay.
So
What are
suddenly
the
they
current-
all just got +50 ballistic skill. That's all I know. Kidding. Before we get into that, I do want to give Darius one final chance in case there was any RP. It's been lack of screen time this evening so far, so I want to make sure that we're not leaving him behind.
No, you're not.
Okay, you're good? You don't want to get after anything in particular?
Um,
Listen, I don't want you to feel like you have to either. I just wanted to make sure you were afforded ample opportunity.
yeah, I just can't think of anything off the top of my head that I.
Sure. That's fine. In that case, go ahead and take a stab at this training bit.
Alrighty.
Alright, nominally, your lieutenant is attached to the A squad. And I know you guys have cute little names for them, and I'd never remember them, but, you know.
All right, so my question is, what is the ballistic level of each squad? And you can just call them A, B, and C.
See, A squad is ballistics 50. B squad is also 50. C squad is 50. D squad is 45.
Damn
Okay,
it.
so all the squads, well, so C squad should have one more ballistic that they can train, and so should D squad. C squad, because they were the ones that I trained the first time, so they only got 1 + 5 and not 2. The last training session.
I mean, 3 squads are at 50 and one's at 45. That tells me that.
Yes, but C squad got a +5 the training session before that's already locked in.
Oh, that's locked in, as in validated or whatever.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha.
Because they
Okay.
actually did see combat after that training.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. So theoretically, C squad could go to 55 if you.
C and D squad can receive a +5 in ballistic. And the other squads only got a +5 to willpower, so all of them should be able to get one more +5 to willpower, I believe. What's their current? Are all their willpowers the same?
Give me just a second. Let's see. Willpower 38. 38. 8. 43. So A squad is at a +5 to everybody else for. To be clear, A squad has a +5 to their willpower. Everybody else is at standard will.
Okay.
Okay.
Willpower is definitely a good thing when facing terrors that make Space Marines uncomfortable.
Oh, was it agility that was being trained last time? I was thinking it was willpower, but it might have been agility.
I
that
think
the
one of
others were
them
training.
did get agility. So let me see. A squad's agility is 40. B is 40. C is 40. D is 35.
Mm-hmm. So C squad can get 2, and all the other squads can get one more +5 to agility. If that's how somebody wants to train them. I'm probably going to go for a couple of ballistics trainings, but Warner would also be good at that. What else would be a good one for me to train? I'm assuming we have a staff meeting where we're essentially discussing this.
Right.
Yeah,
Who's training
sure.
and what. I doubt they need fellowship. I'm not going to be great at willpower. Omar, you said they have dodge.
That's a great question. Let's see what they have. Dodge +10 for D. +10.
Why the
+10.
+10s? I didn't realize they had +10s.
They all have dodge +10. It may have
That's
been
where they started, I
they
guess.
may have started at either dodge and then you got it worked up to plus, because dodge and then +10 is and then +20 is the natural progression of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Might have given them dodge. It's one of the only ways they like. It's good as
Yeah.
what they know,
Well,
like power.
my
armors.
question would be this: there is a way that I can train skills per se,
Mm-hmm.
but what would you want for? And we can use off of that if you want to. But would you allow me to try to train them to improve their dodge from a +10 to a +20 since I have that skill?
That is a possibility. I think what we would do for that is agility.
Well, the role's already in place. I'm just asking.
Hold on. Let me think this out in my head for a second, because if you were trying to boost their agility, it's just a flat agility roll. I know flat. We have that conversion thing. If you're trying to bump a skill specifically, this was going to go from 10 to 20. So I'm going to say agility -10 before you convert it to the roll target number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably not the one for me to train then.
But does that
I
make
could
sense though?
probably do
Because
it.
you're going for a higher level of agility that you make the base agility roll more difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
Actually, Hold on.
Yeah, I get it.
If I make it agility -10, that converts it to an easier number to succeed on. It should be more difficult. Because this
You mean
is
I
plus
assuming it was. Yeah, I was assuming you were trying to make it more difficult, not easier.
yeah, the intent would be more difficult. So instead of agility -10 and then converting it, it'd be agility +10. Actually, in this case, since it's +20, let's make it agility +20, then convert it. Conversely, or similarly, if you're trying to give them, let's say, scrutiny +10, it would be their scrutiny, or excuse me, what scrutiny? Is it perception?
Yeah.
So it'd be perception, and because you want to make it +10, you make it perception
Oh.
+10 and then convert it. In this case,
What is their
business
weapon?
plus-
What is their weapon skills?
Ooh, that's a good one too. Their weapon skills are 45. 45. I think they're all 45.
Well,
Yeah, 45.
Warner, do you want to do the 2 ballistic tests on?
Sure.
Well, technically, there's 3 ballistic trainings to be done, or that can be done maximum. 1 to C squad and 2 to D squad.
Well,
But wait, we only get
let's-
one. We only get 1 training.
Yeah,
I was
let's go
thinking
with
about the
D
longer.
squad.
Okay. Jace, Alterios, I'm assuming you're gonna mess with your servitor.
I was just gonna ask if it would be possible to like boost up the servitor's armor by like 1 or something.
Did you take like trait armor, or you do have the trait?
He has something with
Um,
talents.
That would be more related to your trade and not to training, I think.
Which it would be a skill. It would basically be a skill roll for tech use.
Tech use or do I have
Or
armor?
what is your talent? What is that trade skill that you have? I forget. You've got a couple of them.
It's let me
I can
find
pull it up. Give me 2
Technomat.
seconds.
Technomat.
There you go.
I
Technomat,
think
and what does that
armor
do
is
again?
on the
Technomat
What's that?
is knowing by rote memorization how to do things.
Mm,
It's what we use to remember how the
how Scran set
to-
out all the equipment up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have a trade armor smith of any sort?
Um
Or is that, I know loose
it's
Jace has
available
that.
to grab. I don't have it at the moment.
Okay. So in this case, the best course would be tech use. Because and I think it boils down to one of those things. It's like it's not that difficult to just bolt armor plates on something. Where the armor trade would come in is how you would make it look more aesthetically pleasing than just a bunch of chunks of plates of armor being
Or how to make something that weighs the same amount more sturdy.
more resilient. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right. So who's gonna make the first dealy roll?
I'll make the training for Squad D to get better at shootings.
Okay, so Squad D currently has a ballistic skill 45. That turns into a 55 that you need to roll under. Rev, am I doing that right in my head?
I have it pasted places. I don't have it directly in front of me. Hold on, give me a second. I can get it, I think. I have it saved somewhere. I didn't put it there. It should be pinned in the Krieg Dominion. Let me double check.
You know what? You might be right. I think it is.
Pinned messages.
There's
I
a
don't see
handful
it.
of them. Fire.
I put it in there, but I don't see it.
Oh. No, it might be pinned. Station Z.
Hey, no. I found it. I've got it. I'm going to go ahead. Can I pin it? Do I have the authority to pin things?
I don't know. Can you? Or if you can't, try to pin it. If you can't, reply
that's
to
what
it
I'm-
so I can see it.
That's what I'm trying to do. I cannot pin it.
Okay. Just reply and then like throw a couple symbols or Let's see. Training method characteristic on tweet training examples. 73 in willpower, squad 30. 37.
So in this case, it's 100 minus 40.
Well, it's 40. They have a 45,
Okay, 100 minus 45 would
which
be
is 55.
55.
And then
I
your
have a
ballistic
plus
skill
7.
bonus. So 55, so that's a 62. Because I got
62.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sanity check. So many numbers at once, and my brain was like, I heard that one, and that one.
So I will endeavor to roll under a 62.
Correct.
Yay!
That is a big success. So they will go up by 5.
Yep. We never set up like if there's a multiple successes, they can go by more. But that
I
felt like
may
it was
have. I
two.
may have also just been like, no, 5 at a time is sufficient.
I think that's what we decided, not to make it too overpowered.
Yeah. All right. They're updated. All right. Who else is making adjustments to their stats?
Who else is training? You mean?
Correct.
Jace, do you want to train anybody? Anything? Do you need me to point towards something? Like I don't know what you're able to with your current
Yeah.
setup.
Something.
Okay, you, as I recall, you have fairly decent agility and willpower, as correct.
Yes.
What is your weapon skill? Do you remember? Are you able to see that?
Hang on a second. My weapon skill is only a 35.
Okay. Omar, which squad has the lowest agility?
Great question. Let's take a look
Delta
and see.
squad, isn't it?
I
Or
don't recall
Delphi?
off the top of my head, so I got to go back and look at them all again. They have a 35.
Delta Squad was the one I just trained.
I know that, so that would eliminate them as an
40.
option.
40, correct. It was Delta Squad who just got trained.
Okay.
The other
Jace,
ones
do you have
can be boosted their agility, but that's
They can.
again, that's entirely up to you guys.
Jace, do you have a preference between Athens, Bactria, and Crete as to which one you would like to? Please don't train Crete. Either Alpha or sorry, either Athens or Bactria. Would you like to train one of those in agility or willpower?
What's the willpower of each of those?
Which two squads? A and C?
Athens and
A and B.
Bactria.
A and B. Willpower 43, willpower 38. So B has the 38.
Then I'll train B. Willpower.
So 38, 100 minus 30. So 38 becomes. Ooh, Jesus. Brain is no.
62.
Thank you. 62. That sounds right. Yep. Plus your willpower bonus for Jace.
Jace, what's your willpower score?
It's 50.
That's
So plus 5.
67.
Yeah.
Okay, who do you want? Oh, okay, I was gonna say, who do you want to roll in?
That is a success. You know what? I probably could have let one of y'all do it instead, but I was already there thinking about it.
No, that's fine.
Willpower goes up to Keith. Okay.
And I will train Crete in that the only plus 5 ballistic they can take.
Okay.
So their ballistic you said was 50?
It is 50, so it'll be 50 plus your ballistic skill bonus.
Okay, which should be can I give them that plus 10? Since I'm the Lord Commander?
You know what? I think we have a precedent for that, so yes.
Actually, I can't, is the precedent. I was just trying to sweet talk you. If I'm being all honest, you said no, I can't use that to train a squad.
Okay. I'll live by that. I don't remember everything I've ever said and done.
Well, I may like to mess around, but I also am.
No, I
Try to be
appreciate it,
honest.
and I literally I had a memory maybe that memory was that we had this discussion and just not remembering the outcome of that discussion.
We had, and you said no, and you slapped me down a couple times. So I was giving you an opportunity to slap me
If
down.
that's the precedent that I have done, then yes, let's go.
All right.
I'm using a gavel right now.
Anyway, so that's only going to be a +6, so 56.
Hmm.
Oh,
You
know
can
what?
put a fate point on it. I believe
I'll
was
put
what
a fate point to it.
I think that was what I allowed.
I'll make it a 66.
Okay. Wow. Came right up to it. Right up. I think that translates. You're training them, and you actually start getting a little frustrated because you're like, are these motherfuckers even paying attention? And they come out to test day, and they don't do extraordinarily well, but they do well enough to pass your expectations.
No, it's more that I'm getting nervous of like, I've just talked up my abilities and everything else. These guys are going to make me look bad if they don't step up.
Yeah, it was C Squad, correct?
Yes, Crete. So now they're 55 to everybody else's.
Yep.
Well, most everybody else is 50. And they can't be trained anymore because the last training round they only got one.
Okay. Alterios, are you doing something with your servitor? Combat servitor.
I just saw that because the armor profile for it was buried underneath the massive wall of text that is its status text.
It is,
you
but
could
it
use-
is 6 all.
Yeah.
Can I offer a suggestion other than armor, since you need a different? What if you just improved his toughness?
You'd have. Here's the problem with improving its toughness. It has a toughness of 40, and some talent that gives it extra, unnatural toughness too. You would have to bump it up to 50.
It has basically a toughness of 80.
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's 40, but it's ×2 for the bonus. So
Correct.
basically
The problem is because it's right at 40, you're gonna have to boost its toughness 2 times before you get any benefit out of it.
No, he doesn't.
What do you mean?
Because unnatural toughness doubles his toughness.
Bonus.
It doubles its toughness bonus.
Oh,
so
okay.
at toughness 50, it would be toughness bonus of 10.
Well, here, I mean, like, you can't. It's at 40 now. That's a relatively easy check to make since you're doing its tech use, is my thought. Maybe it doesn't do much this time, but if you take it into combat and next time.
Certainly. I mean, that's definitely a thing. I was just pointing out. I meant to point it out more as a thing to consider, not a reason not to.
Does it have dodge?
It does not seem to have dodge. I only have one skill on it, awareness. So it has agility of 40, which is strange. Oh no, that's strength I was looking at. It has agility of 20.
20.
Giving it.
Oh,
in fact, I don't know if it would. Well, no, it's a skill.
If you improve the agility, you could actually make it be able to move faster. In combat.
Oh yeah.
Kinda, but like it already can't move and shoot at the same time, so like. And if it needs to be running away, I've done.
If it needs to be running away, it needs to be in the back taking bullets for you.
Because that means my ass is on the line, and
I'm just offering suggestions. You do you.
I will give you an additional thought to consider. I know you've got a lot to consider already, but here's another thought. With a tech use -20, on success, you will give it, let's call it, in a narrative sense, core shielding, which will amount to +3 wounds. It already has 15 wounds. You will give it 18 wounds on success. Entirely up to you.
I'll take that.
Okay, but that's tech use -20, which
it means it could sit there longer and be my meat sheet.
Yeah, which I realize your tech use -20 is still a don't roll 96 or higher.
Yeah, but you never know.
But
the dice have scrolled me over before.
I think as the GM, I can entice you with such tidbits.
Yeah, I was
So-
gonna
Here's
say
a-
the dice have been well known to screw me over at times. So let's
This
see.
If
is
you're gonna allow-
listen. I've
if you're
watched you. Not wrong.
Almost. That's still a pass.
It
but
is a
I'll go with-
passing, but my friend, how close you came.
Uh,
So
Can I offer-
very close.
Can I offer a suggestion for how you're playing that? And this is something for Omar to approve or disapprove and tell me I'm stupid. But I believe there's some sort of bodyguard trait within the traits that
mean
essentially if a
talents?
shot hit within the talents, that if a shot hits someone designated as its protect that it's designated to protect, or that it's normally for a player character. But I think essentially they can take a hit instead of you. Something along the lines of in Pendragon, Sir, get down.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm looking.
I think
You're
there's a
looking right
trait in
now.
there. I'll double check to see if there is such a thing like that. But is that something that he could potentially train the bot to have in order to take shots for him? Since that's how he's playing it. Would you consider that as some sort of tech use role for him?
Give me a second. I'm trying to see if there's an actual talent for that. I'm not seeing one just yet, but give me a second.
No. I mean, you do your Jimmy and stuff. I'll dig through the talents because I swear there was one like that.
Doesn't work. So I want this Into the Storm give additional talent. Origins. Root talents or
I feel like I saw a talent where somebody else can take damage intended for someone else.
well, let me see what the core book said. List of. Let's see. Affect more targets. Use either hand resistant. Skill. Use weapon. Frenzy. Gain. Penalty. Use intelligence. Opponents get no bonus. Use apartment on his person. Oh, there's a prison wallet. Let's see. Free attack. Damage. Critical damage. Have penalty called shots. Gain uncanny. Roll death. Force opponent.
It's called Guardian. Years of serving as a bodyguard will allow the explorator to put himself in the line of fire or to take a murderous attack that was intended for another. He may sacrifice all of his actions for the next round to switch places with an ally within 2 meters, as long as there's
There's
no
a
obstruction in the way.
There's a prerequisite of agility 40.
Which I thought he had agility. It's
Yeah,
agility
he has
20.
agility 20. Now, I will say this, Alterios. You scored a 93 tech skill at tech minus 20. We can change the wounds and give him an additional +5, and you can work towards that over the next several jumps. If you like. Or I can leave the
So-
+3 wounds on there.
I've just been like standing directly behind him and like peeking left and right to,
You have
shoot
been,
if I
yes.
shoot.
It's a choice. Or you could start working towards that agility 40 and then put bodyguard on him at a later date. I just can't guarantee
can
you're
I-
going to have 5 individual jumps to do that.
Can I propose an alternative? It's not a trait that I know of in the book. But essentially allow the servitor to count as some level of cover.
I think that's what I've been doing.
Yes, but it's not in the rules as written, so somebody
Yeah,
could
and you
choose
haven't
to
been
do this.
using it in a mechanic sort of like by using him as cover, it gives you additional armor or something like that, or a penalty.
I
or
just
something like
assume that they take a look, they try and find me, and then see the fuck off servitor and go, I'm gonna try doing that first.
Well, there was
that's pretty much what it is.
there was a crew that basically targeted you directly and not your.
Yes,
I think I was
because
off to
the
side.
crew,
I think I
the crew
misplaced
realized
myself.
he was controlling the servitor, or
Yeah.
thought he was, something like that.
I need to stand behind a corner. Just do the wizard thing from D&D and just peek out and stand behind a corner.
Oh my god, I saw a video the other day. trying to remember what the spell was that he cast. Oh, he cast Batman.
What?
What?
Yeah, so he cast Batman, made his opponent. It was one of those like testicular torsion kind of spells,
Oh.
and he
Okay.
turned his opponent into Batman, who then went through the grief of having both his parents killed immediately. And it even took me a second. I was like, "Where's he going with this?" Oh my god, that's mom and dad being gunned down.
Uh-huh.
Oh, go ahead, be a vigilante superhero now. At any rate, what would you like to do with your combat servitor, Alter? You can leave the wounds as is, or we can bump his agility by 5, or perhaps add a. I'll do this. You can keep the +3 wounds, or you can give him +5 agility, or you can put gun ports, and they will provide a -5 penalty for anybody shooting at you so long as you are within 1 inch of your combat servitor.
Ooh.
Mind you, it's only a -5. But a -5 is the difference between what you just rolled and what would have been a fail.
Yeah.
And all of this is based on the fact that you did succeed a tech use -20.
I do like shooting people.
Now, to be clear, that +5, or excuse me, -5 ballistics for being shot at if within 1 inch applies to anybody that is that close. So it's not just you. I mean, you're the one that's most likely to take advantage of it.
Everybody,
But...
everybody cried around the combat servitor, so Omar can throw grenade at us again. And have
I don't know if it'll work quite like that, but I like the way you're going with this.
we can only hope that he fumbles and he drops it at his feet again.
Not just once, but twice, as I recall. No,
Twice.
it was missed the throw, and it bounced, scatter throw. Yeah, ultimately, yeah, basically, it just landed right back at both of their feet. Yeah, that's stupid.
I'll do the gunport one. That seems like
Okay.
it would be nice for like everybody.
Yeah.
You could even crowd the like one of the squads. Like just have it be a
Hey,
mobile
if you can
bunker.
get them within 3 inches, or excuse me, 1 inch, yeah. Let me find that place. So we're gonna call it gun ports.
I'll reset it.
1 inch equals -5 ballistic skill. Shot. Yeah, I remember that this time around. Okay. Any other? I think that's everybody for training. We're not missing anything. Go ahead and resave these guys. Acheron arm.
Next modification is replacing his legs with treads and then adding a flatbed so it becomes like a pocket APC.
Jesus.
The Mechanicus has those.
Yeah.
Let's see if I did this right. Ah, yes, excellent. A Squad didn't get any updates this time around. Is that correct?
No.
No, it's not correct, or no, they did not?
No, they didn't.
Okay. I'll make sure, because that means I don't need to update Cassian and the servitor. Same. Yes. All right, excellent. All right. Everybody that was infected needs to make. Let's back up. Everybody that was infected needs to make a toughness test. There are penalties for failure.
Our last toughness check.
Toughness.
I believe there was only one player character that was not infected. Might be wrong with that. Let's see.
I thought all the player
I
characters.
think we
were
got it because they I think it was Darius. They tried arguing they never took off their suit, and it's been weeks, and
Mm,
you gave them months, and you
Yeah.
gave them the option of stewing in a suit for months and developing skin lesions or taking off the suit.
But he was less infected than the rest of us, so
Yes.
maybe
This is
he
true.
gets some small
Um,
benefit.
So at this point, because you guys are still relatively low level infection, it is a toughness test for everybody challenging. Versus the potential minus 10 or 20 that it could have been.
Let's start it off.
Who's that rolling? That
I
is
succeed.
Warner. You succeed?
Yes, my toughness is 51.
Excellent. You are out for the rest of the day. You take a full day of not exactly bed rest, but man, you do not want to do jack or shit. You know, I imagine
Chemotherapy
you've been hungover
sucks.
once before.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Rev.
Rev. Failing or fate point?
I'm
sorry,
fa-
not fate point. No, it is fate point in this game. I was getting
Yep.
confused.
He almost called it favor.
I almost called it fortune. I believe that's also a fail.
Yep.
Okay. You see what happens when you take 4 wounds without benefit of armor or toughness, and you are out of commission for 2 days. And when I say out of commission,
that's why training nearly failed. Is I was
yeah, that checks out. There was a couple of days where you were just like so not there at all. In some cases, literally
Very
not
literally.
there. As the nanites went to war with the infestors in your bloodstreams, body parts. All right, let's go, Alturios.
It's a 50-50.
Mamma mia.
That is a success. You actually are only down for several hours instead of the full day.
It's definitely because I'm efficiently replaced with machines.
I think Scran gives you a little secret boost of like extra go-go juice for iron. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. He basically gives you the 40K Adeptus Mechanicus
But
version.
members get a little extra.
He gives you a little extra Gatorade is what or not Gatorade.
Yeah, the rogue trader gets shortchanged, but special attention to the other Mechanicus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. You get
We're-
you get the good motor oil. All right, Darius, you are the last one. What is your toughness, sir?
Well, after spending a fate point, it is 53.
53. Okay. That is a what is that? 63. Would you like to spend a fate point?
Yes.
All right. Rolling against a 53. That is no go. You are going to take also 4 damage, and you are out of commission for a full day. But because you guys are all lightly wounded, I think your wounds recover within a few days because you didn't take a whole lot of damage. So the damage is mostly superficial, and the fact that you're out for a day or two while traveling the warp is only moderately concerning. We spend a couple more days going through the warp. The nanite infestation appears to be eradicated.
Are you saying I did?
But
Are you saying I didn't get any bonus for being at the minimum level?
unfortunately, you did not.
We were all at the minimum level.
You all, for all intents and purposes, everybody was still only very low levels of infestation. If this was someone like Yunko Bar, he would have had to make a toughness at like a minus 30 with as far gone as he was.
But you didn't give him that chance.
Didn't give him that chance because this is the Imperium and we don't give people chances. More or less.
And why is there a novel called Second or Last Chancers?
I don't make the rules, man.
That was their only chance.
Your only chance is your last chance. Come on.
I mean, well, they were a death penal legion, but we won't talk about that.
Okay. So, a couple of days go by. The infestation is being slowly eradicated. And by slowly, I mean it takes a couple of days. Icarus, after 2 or 3 days of just left and right inoculations, you finally get through everybody. And now you have to basically give it another couple days to make sure that everybody goes through. Can you give me a flat 1d100 roll, please?
Okay. Hey,
Excellent. You rolled much lower than your original flat 1d100 plus 30. So the casualties are actually at a negligible number, like 1 or 2 per 100. It has no effect on your crew population or your crew morale. In fact, if anything, over the course of the next few days, not that your morale matters right now for mechanical reasons, but your morale improves as the infestation is eradicated. We are down to probably about the last several days, let's say about a week out from Alpha Hanetti. Lord Captain, the Sister Chatelaine Anit von Hammersmark would like an audience with you.
Granted.
And she is requesting that this is a formal official meeting. And it would not be a bit. Oh, I owe you Marcellus Thale answers. Let's do that first. What were you looking for in requesting his medical information and genetics?
Comparing it to mine.
Like, are you going for the next best thing to a paternity test sort of deal?
I'm going for any sort of confirmation that there is genetic similarities, even if I have to. Basically, if I have to scrub the other data, like names and such, and take the relevant data to some medic and be like, or doctor on the ship and be like, are these two guys related?
Well, it just so happens that there is a limited amount of genetic information available for everybody on board because it's part of medical well-being. I know that may sound a little weird, especially in the 40K universe, but I feel like having a genetic record is not a bad idea in a universe that also is shared with things like oh god, why did I suddenly lose train of thought? Gene cults.
Gene
stealer cults. So there is sufficient genetic material available to compare and contrast, and it is confirmed that that Marcellus Thale is a member of the I humor me because I don't remember all the genetic terms specifically to this, but basically that he is male DNA, shared DNA. The theory that he is your uncle is certainly supported.
Uncles and nephews share between 17 to 34% DNA genetic markers.
Yes, and that's the kind of answer you get back from your chief chirurgeon. Although, give it the 40K flavoring. I don't know what that would sound like.
I am not entirely sure either.
I don't know either. It would also
genetic variances are 30%.
Yeah.
Identical or something.
Yeah, something like that. The chief chirurgeon also points out that insofar as let's call it structural integrity of the genetic material, specifically the DNA strands and the chromosomes and all that, that the structure is fairly resilient and seems to be. I'm trying to think of the right word. I'm short, so I'm just gonna say like the genetic stock is really good as far as like the chances of genetically passed along defects and things of that nature are remarkably low.
Now, is this for me or for Thale or both?
Thale. And therefore, indirectly, you. The chirurgeon is very careful on how he chooses his words regarding your mother's genetics and the fact that her genetic code is when it comes to the susceptibility of genetic anomalies, he's very careful on how he broaches that topic because he doesn't want to. More accurately, he doesn't want to offend the memory of Naomi Van Breeze.
Did
Everybody
she...
loved her, if you remember.
Yes, everybody may have loved her, but did she have any genetic abnormalities that you were aware of? I do not wish to impeach her, or, you know, as
You don't want to
impeach
pass
her
on gene
memory.
stealer data?
No,
Or
not necessarily
gene
pass
stealer
on
shit?
user data,
Whatever.
but I want to be aware of any.
No,
I want to know if my heart history is okay.
Yeah. No, he says that insofar as any chances of genetic defects or abnormalities, the chances of such are pretty low. In fact, he's actually a bit miffed to some point that Thale's genetic markers are even lower. And then the Cryourgin, somewhere
have
along the
met, like,
way, go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
abnormally low genetic markers. Does that show any signs of tampering or engineering, or is it natural?
This appears to be natural, my Lord Captain. Curious, do you believe Thale is your father? Seeing more than a handful of shared similarities between the three of you and your genetic histories. Obviously, your mother is your mother. You are you.
I am investigating the possibility that Thale and I are related.
Based on what I'm seeing here, my Lord Captain, if I may speak so freely, it would be difficult to refute that you are related. If I had to wager a guess.
Slight retcon to the situation.
Yeah.
I said any information I was given in Chirurgeon had names removed, so
Oh,
he might be aware.
Go ahead.
He might be aware that it's me, but his knowledge that that's Thale might be in question.
Okay, so he may not know it's Thale. Okay. So yeah, let me explain. So he is able to infer that you are looking into your genetic history, and that these two additional samples, i.e. Nomi's, because that's called up as a reference point, and then this third sample that he's... Well, no, because you had to ask for Thale's information specifically.
Okay.
So he does definitely put it together. Like, yeah, Thale's definitely your... I would wager an uncle. I don't think nephew would... that doesn't work out timeline-wise, so probably an uncle.
If there is a particularly high overlap, could be a half-sibling.
Wow. That would be wild to pursue that for...
Just,
but we've already established that he's the
know,
uncle.
right. I'm just saying that based on the genetic overlaps, a father is 41 to 59% overlap.
Yeah.
So the uncle being 17 to 34%, very different number.
There's a narrow margin in there where the half sibling could happen. Yeah.
Yes, half siblings overlap with uncles and aunts, though they're generally in the 21 to 39% overlap. So
gotcha.
If you get into that high 20s, low 30s territory, could be uncle or aunt, or could be half sibling.
It's wild. And the fact that you know these things so well.
He's had some family drama, don't ask.
I have not had
not my business.
drama, but I play a lot of Crusader Kings 3.
Ah, there it is. There it is. I recognize Jesus Christ, the dynastic matchmaker right there. I knew you from somewhere. Yes. I'm going to overpopulate this entire continent and thus inherit it all one day. That's a valid strat for ruling in CK3, by the way.
It really is.
Throw a bunch of kids out there. Eventually you're going to win. I mean, you have to do a lot of kids over several generations, but yeah.
And you have to survive any particularly terrible offspring you may have.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, sometimes you just gotta. It's like gardening. Sometimes you have to chop off different branches in order for the whole thing to grow correctly.
Easier if you're playing as Greek because then you can just blind them.
At any rate, before we wander too far afield here, the short version of
Right.
all of this, the big takeaways here is that genetically speaking, medically speaking, not only is it a fairly safe argument that Thale is an uncle, but that the genetic stock from which you, Lord Captain Borgadillo Van Breeze von Gisbath, or whatever the fuck your damn name is, are also of valiant and worthy, and fairly safe genetic stock as well.
So no mutations in my future.
Unless you fall prey to the warp and corruption and things of that nature. No.
Or start eating yellow cake.
It's with the yellow cake. Am I missing something there? I feel like I'm missing something there.
That's
Uranium.
nuclear waste.
Uranium. But is it
Jeez.
refined?
I thought yellow cake was the unrefined uranium, not the waste.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I thought it was unrefined as well, but I could be wrong.
I don't know anything
Yeah.
about uranium except it glows in the dark. Not
Pretty
necessarily
sure there
literally.
was a Daniel Craig movie about it.
The
before
only
he was
yellow
James
cake I
Bond.
know is
The only yellow cake I know comes in a box and has frosting on it, so
Lemon cake?
yes.
cookie?
I'm a fat kid at heart, let's be honest.
that wasn't the yeller I was referring to.
Anyway, Anit von Hammerschmark would like your attention, mein Lord Captain.
Yeah, she has it.
In this formal setting, she has a couple of retainers with her to help present information. And she says, "My Lord Captain, I have discreetly passed along a subtle suggestion regarding you and the Lady Inquisitor. However, I have not received anything resembling a positive, let's call it feedback, in that particular aspect. That said, I do have three potential candidates for you to review if you would like to peruse them." As she pulls out several, let's go with manila folders and loose leaf paper with some photographic imagery inside.
I'll entertain it for now.
Okay. My Lord Captain, our first prospect is Alicia von Neumark, a highly ranked baron on the world of Sephira Secundus in the Golgena Reach subsector of Calixis. Her personal claim the world produces some 35% of the planet's tithes to the Imperium, the world of which provides the most material in all of the Calixis sector. She is a young, healthy, and physically robust woman who is known for efficient operating standards and ruthless discipline in her serfs. I also have for you Vi Varine Hautzig von Rossmann, a powerful warlord on the planet Iacanthus. A fierce warrior herself, known for having never been defeated in single combat, including combat against warriors under the influence of the Ghostfire pollen treatments, or even orc war bosses, she has maintained control over a significant portion of the world for the last 3 administratum tithes. I should point out that is 15 years. While she hasn't claimed the title of Vervi herself, she has proven herself to be more than capable in combat leadership and governance during that time. Such an alliance between the Hautzig and von Breeze lines would surely bring only profit and prominence. The final prospect I have here for you is the Lady Janita Rathenau of Hive Prolis on Cantus in the Marcane Marches of the Calixis sector. The Lady Janita is a formidable and cold ruler of the Hive Prolis, home to more than 1 billion citizens of the Imperium, all dedicated to producing the raw materials and basic goods needed anywhere else in the Imperium. Records show a startling service history of consistently meeting each of her tithe goals under her rulership, and in many cases exceeding expectations that have allowed for the planet as a whole to make its own tithing requirements. Union with her will, of course, bring in much income and stability to all parties involved, as well as help bolster the subsector, the sector, the Imperium at large. I ran through that so I can repeat anything you need.
The last one, you said that she was the lady of a hive world? Or a hive,
is-
a singular hive?
Yes, she is the ruler of a single hive on a hive world, Cantus or Cantus. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's in the Calixis sector. All three of these are in the Calixis sector.
Now, the world that she is the ruler of a hive of, does it fall under the domain of another rogue trader?
No, this is in the Marcane Marches of the Calixis sector.
I thought the Calixis sector was the sector that we're currently in.
You are in the Koronus Expanse.
We're Koronus Expanse, yeah. Calixis is the one that's just across the
It's the one you're adjacent
Hmm.
to.
yeah.
And this is the Marcane Marches, which honestly I'd have to look at the map to tell you where exactly but it's in that sector. As a point of reference that I thought was actually kind of cool, the Iacanthus world. So for 5 years at a time, these different tribes. It's a feudal world, basically, and the different tribes of the people on the planet gather up as much of the Ghostfire pollen as they can. And at the end of those 5 years, when the Administratum shows up to collect it, whoever has the most Ghostfire pollen, the ruler of that tribe becomes the planet's ruler, or the title Vervi. The Ghostfire pollen is used as basically a combat stim.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an order of the Sisters of Battle on that world. I don't remember specifically what. That particular lady, Vereen Houtzig von Rossmann, is she's only a Vi, not a Vervi, but she has been consistent for the last 15 years in having significant portions of the world's tithes.
But no guarantees, no hereditary title.
Correct, and especially in that world, because the hereditary title that she would have would basically be the leader of her tribe. And honestly, given the nature of it being a feudal world and the nature in which they fight, basically the fighting revolves around collecting the Ghostfire pollen. So she might be in charge today, but she might not be tomorrow. Theory. Although she has held her title for 15 years now. The other side of that too is, the other two have long-standing history, hereditary titles being passed on for generation. Janita Rathenow of Hive Prolus and Alicia von Neumark, who is she doesn't necessarily she rules over a portion of the world Sephira Secundus.
Mm-hmm. The first one you said she ruled. What was her?
Alicia von Neumark.
Mm-hmm.
She is a baron on the world of Sephira Secundus. Her personal claim of the world produces a little over a third of the planet's tithes. The world Sephira Secundus provides the most material in tithes in all of the Calixis sector, and she provides a third of that.
These are all fine candidates, sister. However,
Thank you, Lord Captain.
there is one thing that troubles me about the inclusion of such into the future domains of any posterity that I might have. One, it would lack the same degree of autonomy that any heirs of mine as a rogue trader would have, and they would find themselves beholden to the governor of some other sector of space, as well as their charter. It would not be included. It would be separate titles. Essentially, they would be inheriting. with separate levels of authority that one might find constraining.
So
Secondly, any inheritances outside of the Koronus Expanse, should there be any question as to inheritance or disputes by other claimants to the planet, were my progeny to find themselves busy defending the primary area of space under their control, they might find it difficult to maneuver with any speed or trepidation to their other holdings on the other side of it's not the throat, what is it called?
it's the Koronus Passage. It's the
It's got some esoteric name.
I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of it. Why can't I think of it? It's into the not into the storm. Oh god, hang on.
Check your session 2 notes.
It is the Maw.
Yeah.
It's the Maw. There's two warp storms adjacent to each other with a narrow passage between the two.
I said the complications of the Maw presenting difficulty in maintaining control over both domains.
I see. You have a valid concern there. I had hoped to broker some sort of alliance between assets. She wouldn't say assets. Between. Had another word and it just disappeared right away. Between elements of the Expanse and elements of the Calixis. However, I do see your concern, especially given the nature of the Maw. And she kind of smirks a little bit. This one's a bit more playful and less plasticky than her normal expressions. As I'm sure you could imagine, I have recently traveled through the Maw and can confirm that it can be treacherous. That said, go ahead.
I say I do have one possible consideration. I said for you. I said a moment, and I essentially call up Reinhardt on the Vox.
Ooh.
Yes, Lord Captain.
I said, Lord Reinhardt, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about warrior women?
But you mean how do I feel? That's amazing.
Do you feel the same about warrior women as a potential paramour?
That depends on, how shall we say, personality. The warrior women, they come in two sorts that I am readily familiar with. There's the ones that, just...
By the way, the sister is. I am perfectly letting the sister listen in on this conversation.
Of course.
From her
And
end.
she's, and again, let's imagine the consummate business person here, or negotiator. She's keeping quiet, but she's obviously very attentive.
Let's just say that they're the ones that want to use their martial abilities to dominate. And then there's the ones that seek for an equal partner. And I am not the kind of person who very much enjoys being dominated, but to have a trustworthy partner who could defend themselves and stand by my side, yeah, that would be wonderful.
I essentially mute the comm on our end to Warner, and I say to the Lord Sister, I said, perhaps it may not be as important as a rogue trader, but perhaps should he inherit the title of some lord, the unification of. I said, I feel like a warrior woman would much appreciate a man of martial prowess.
You bring up an interesting point, my Lord Captain. This will require some thought on my part, as well as the opportunity presents. an opportunity, or excuse me, a chance to convey such thoughts to the Vi herself. We'll
I'd
make
say,
note.
well, so something for further consideration again. And um, I say, should I keep that photo for Reinhardt, or do you wish to consider it further?
She slips the photograph of this woman, and first it's a shot of her like mid-combat strike with some gigantic. Let's listen. It's a Zweihander.
Tell me she's killing an orc.
Unfortunately, it's not an orc, but it is an
Oh.
imposingly Jesus Christ, imposingly large-sized man in this shot. Now, it doesn't show a good angle of him. It shows a great angle of her combat stance, swinging this massive Zweihander. And in fact, when you Reinhardt, when you hear, or excuse me, Warren, when you hear the word Zweihander, I want you to imagine what would probably be more accurately described as a three-hander, given the very
No,
size of this fucking thing.
There's a term for those, and it's not
I
three-hander.
I know there's a sword larger than your basic two-hander sword. I can't think of what it's called. I know there's claymores and whatnot, but this thing is truly massive. It's certainly wider than it should be.
Warner,
and it-
you'd know this terminology better than I would. What
You
is
would.
what are those big swords in Germany that are basically for a long time they're like, oh, they never use these in battlefield. These were just show swords until somebody was like, no, I don't think they were.
So many people assumed that about the Zweihander itself.
Oh, I thought there was a sword slightly larger than that got that assumption.
So there are several large types of swords, but the Zweihander is the real big one. That's basically a polearm and sword hybrid.
Okay.
There's the flamberge or flammard, which
the
is
wavy
also that's the wavy one. That's a big one. There's the claymore. There's the montante.
A
But
sword literally named Mountain.
but
I'm amused by this, just to be clear.
yeah, there are a lot of big swords out there.
I'm sure
but
there
the
are, because
Zweihanders are
they're probably made to
quite
handle things
sizable.
like they were probably built to handle things like a mounted knight on horseback.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
and in
believe
fact,
Montante specifically was used for city guards, and there was you wave it around to keep people away from your charge and distract them.
Yes, that's also a
Uh,
valid thing.
On a side note, since we're talking about varieties of sword, this might offend you, Warner, so I'm going to throw it out there.
Oh
I was
wow!
I was at a Renaissance festival, and they had some labels on some weapons behind the booth for sale, and one of them said Scottish Claymore, and it was a basket hilt rapier.
Oh my
oh
God.
no,
Oh my
no. Now, some people did call the Scottish basket hilt broadsword a claymore,
But
but
it's this, isn't it the same length more or less as your normal longsword? It just had a broader blade. Am I right?
the Scottish basket hilt broadsword has several distinctions from a classic longsword, but it it's essentially a large arming sword with
Okay.
excellent hand protection.
No,
Yeah.
this was a very fine thin blade
Yeah.
Yeah,
on a
It's
basket hilt.
that's not
close to
acceptable.
Claymore.
Yeah, I thought you'd find it unacceptable, and it just occurred to me as we were
Yeah.
talking about claymores and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, she passes this image over, and it is a large woman, well muscular, uh, in the classic combat, mid swing, with what might basically be a Zweihand or something slightly larger for that. And
how large is she compared to this large man? Is she herself very
about
large,
the
or
same
just
size. Like, she's
okay?
probably the size of a small orc. Probably pushing 7 feet
So,
tall.
oh, I was gonna say, so she's a 7 foot tall woman.
Yeah. She's probably,
Okay.
just to be fair, probably about 6.5 feet tall. I don't
Okay.
know what that weight would be, and I certainly don't want to offend any women out there by throwing a random ass number for a woman that size and that tall. But
Maybe she's got a little ogre in her. Who knows?
she very well might. You don't know, but everything you see about her, other than her, well, regardless, I mean, outside of her gargantuan size, she's not unattractive. I mean, granted, there's a combat scowl on her face that might be taking away some of her beauty, but you know.
So in a slightly stylish script on the front of it, I write she kills orcs, and I'm going to pass it on to.
I mean, that was literally in the description. She's been known for killing orc bosses, or rather, that she has never lost in single, or never been defeated in single combat, including against fellow warlords and even
You're right.
orc
Let
war
me
bosses.
let me change my little note on there in my cursive, not in character but above script, since I would actually know what I was told.
Mhm.
I will just write has killed orcs in single combat.
Yeah, which is an impressive feat in and of itself, no matter what your gender is. All right.
But that'll be for Reinhardt as soon as I'm assuming that we have fairly regular staff meetings.
Sure.
I'm not going to summon him to my whatever my location is just for that.
Sure. It is about that time for the evening, my friends. So go ahead and take 200 experience points. And let's see what you guys might have to offer for feedback and outro comments, starting with Everett.
No, RP sessions are nice, I guess.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I still felt like I took too much time compared to everybody else. I'm sorry.
I did try to incorporate everybody. You know what? I shouldn't. I've realized I'm spotlighting, and I don't mean to spotlight.
I'm a grandstander, so
it's Rogue Trader. Like at the end of the day, the Rogue Trader is the main character. Like no event, no two ways about it.
Difficult to put any other way about it. Darius got so little screen time to feel bad about it.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens.
Like he's also on the phone, so making him roll a lot probably not like
Yeah,
the way to
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I don't have it in front of me, but I did give you the information, Warner. What, and my character above board would know this. What sector of space is Sebastian Jace's family in?
Where are they
Where
from?
their hive world is on a specific planet from a far-flung sector of space. I might even ask, can we retcon that I asked the sister if she wished for any connections between whatever sector he's in and the Calixis sector? Because I'm assuming Calixis is her primary area of business, as it were.
Okay, Vergast is the name of the world. It is in Segmentum Pacificus in the Sabbat world sector.
Which I think is like basically halfway across the galaxy, if not
It
more.
pretty much is. It's certainly, if I'm understanding the map correctly and know where it is, it's definitely on the other side of Iatera, but I might be misreading the map at this point because there's a chunk of
Ooh, so it's probably on the other side of the. Are we pre or post Rift?
Pre.
Okay.
This is M41.
What do I know?
Sorry?
I get the timeline mixed up.
It's okay. That's why Gulliman even invented the Ordo Chronos.
Gilliam.
Yes, Girly Man.
Robot Gorilla Man.
Yep. Any rate, Rev, you got any other feedback stuff?
No. I mean, I doubt an Adeptus Mechanicus is looking for a hookup, and Winter is married to the Emperor.
Correct.
I also feel weird setting up Winter's character, or Rodance's character.
Has Rodance given you anything?
Not lately.
She
was in the middle of I know she was in the middle of a move and some other stuff.
Well, I just didn't know if she'd given you any sort of like feedback in recent months about how you
Not really.
what we've done with her. I mean, we haven't been doing a lot with Winter either, kind of intentionally. We're just kind of using her as a set piece. Almost. Anyway, Darius, you didn't get a lot of screen time tonight, but do you have any feedback or outros, thoughts, anything like that?
It's a little difficult not having my computer up.
Understandable though.
Other than that, not really.
Is there any updates
Did you
on
find
that,
out
by the
what
way?
was wrong?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, best of luck in getting that resolved soon, hopefully.
Were you able to
Alterius?
get a power supply to test to see if that was the issue?
No.
Okay.
Eh.
Alterius, what do you got? I definitely gave you some screen time tonight.
Yeah. It was fun.
I tried to give you
Um,
roles other than tech use as well.
I
I mean, listen,
Um,
I'm not gonna lie. The tradition continues, but I needed to give you other things too.
I didn't mind it. It was good. It was good diversity, if that's not too taboo to say. It was kind of neat just being able to kind of shoot the shit with another Mechanicus autist.
Yeah. That definitely had me. Yeah. I totally did not just make up all of that shit about the Thulian ship that was found, discovered, whatever, on the spot. That definitely did not happen.
It's okay. We didn't notice.
I mean, I definitely do feel like the Adeptus Mechanicus doesn't spend a lot of time shooting the shit. I think, and maybe I'm misunderstanding things somewhere along the way, but I feel like so many of the tech priests are just doing whatever tasks that they are either assigned or feel they need to be doing in order to further whatever project they're on. And if they're not doing that, they're recharging.
Yeah.
Did you hear when Archon so and so said the litany in the wrong order?
Probably got excommunicated for that. Also, Archon is that sounds awfully Xeno-y.
I thought that was one of their titles.
Archmagos, certainly.
Archon probably. They
I
have
feel like Archon
the
is
systems are
very
Eldar.
Sounds
Eldari.
Eldari.
Yeah. I could not. I kept wanting to say Protoss for some goddamn reason.
I mean,
Executor.
6 one way, half dozen the other.
Yeah, indeed. Alterius, you got anything else?
On that note, I don't literally think StarCraft is Warhammer ripoff, but okay.
Sure.
That's it. The accusation was flung around because they both have Space Marines.
Oh no, they've confirmed
And-
it.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
not
been
so much
confirmed
a
they were-
ripoff, but yes.
Yeah, they had a similar starting point, let's say.
No, it was the guys at Games
Yeah.
Workshop literally had a contract with Blizzard to make the game, and they were about to go on the contract, and Blizzard suddenly said, "You know what? We don't like working with you, Games Workshop," and they just canceled the contract.
Yeah.
Games Workshop was going, what's going on? And then 6 months later, suddenly, basically with a don't make it look like you copied my homework, Blizzard launches their own game.
That looked an
I thought
awful
that
lot
was
like my
Warcraft,
homework.
and apparently the Games Workshop didn't like the art style and wanted to totally redo it.
That sounds closer, but I don't know, and I wasn't there, so about it. Swordman. By Swordman, I mean Warner, sorry. Warner, what do you have for feedback outro, if anything at all?
I had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the scenes of role playing that I got to spotlight in. I enjoyed other people having moments of spotlight, and I enjoyed rabbit trailing about swords.
Did you enjoy did you enjoy the offer of a warrior woman?
That was a
Yes.
good move, actually. I didn't even think about that when I wrote her up. I just sat there. I was like, I need to come up with at least the traditional 3 options for potential partners or whatever. and I'm looking through all the worlds of the Calixis sector. I'm looking at the Calixis sector map, and I'm looking at lists in lexicanum.com or whatever the heck the website is. And I come across Acanthus, and I'm reading. I'm like, all right, I can come up with a character from this place. Here we go. Veravarine, blah, 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 blah. I had random name generators going and everything. So I came up with this, and like, go ahead.
If you want to come up with further offers,
Yeah.
my character would sort of just to strip down the pleasantries, and basically what my character would have communicated to the sister is, one, they would need to be clear and free titles to a world, not a world in dispute, so that any succession issue would be limited.
Mm-hmm.
And when they would need to be worlds with some degree of autonomy, so that the world would not answer to some other authority that would split my authority on the planet.
Right.
Meaning, I would have the same autonomy over that world as I would with any other sector, or my heirs.
Okay.
Obviously, if it's her domain, obviously for the, I don't want a Steiner Davian situation of
one day your siblings starting a civil war over who was
Well-
daddy's favorite.
yes, or one sibling decides that
They're gonna take their toys and go home.
they're gonna suddenly the other one may have gotten the title of rogue trader, but they're going to have this other world, and they're going to go curry favor with the governor and make sure that it's theirs.
That's fair. Warner, anything else?
No, that is predominantly it.
Excellent.
Also, take a brief look at the chat in Zoom, and you will find a warrior woman with his Vihander and a
Absolutely. Is it safe for
giant-
stream before I throw it up
yes,
there?
it is.
Okay.
It is safe. Neither of them are NSFW.
Okay.
These images are from the game that you all made fun of me for playing.
What game was that?
What?
The pony
Unicorn
game.
Overlord.
Unicorn
It's not a
Overlord? Is that what
pony
you just
game.
said?
Yes, Overlord. Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, I definitely made fun of the name. I to be clear,
Yes.
I thought the
This
name
is
was
not what.
amazing,
This is not
but-
the sort of thing I was picturing in a game called Unicorn Overlord. In
No,
fact, I am.
This is absolutely the art style for sure. I'm just disappointed there's no unicorns in either
I
of
am.
these images.
I am questioning her thigh gap armor. Both
Listen.
of well,
Listen, any armor
Neither-
that is that revealing is not armor. It's just
So the people who made the game are Vanillaware.
don't know what that. Oh, that's the name of the studio or whatever.
That's the name of the studio.
Okay.
And Vanillaware has a reputation for a certain look.
The standard male 80s dominated 80.
well,
yeah, you know.
the first image of the two, I can get, because that was a style of having, leaving your legs mobile. But the one where she has the
Mhm.
heavily armored thigh plates and then the
Yes.
metal bikini,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Also,
So,
in
Dragon's
Unicorn Overlord-
Crown is probably the game that you would associate with them.
It's
Don't know it.
a weeby.
I was honestly expecting, like, because I thought you got this for your daughters.
No, I got Unicorn Overlord for me. My daughters started playing it.
Right.
It is a strategy game.
I just want to throw this out there, just for a quick.
Just putting two and two
exercise.
together, you got this console for your daughters as a gift, and then you're playing Unicorn Overlord on it. And so I put two and two together and assumed this was a game that you bought for them on said console.
I bought them Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Those are the two ones that I bought.
The
for them
fan
on the
servicey game is
console.
for me. No, I'm kidding.
I just want to throw out there the idea of a Unicorn Overlord death metal band.
Yeah. So here's what.
Actually, you know what? It wouldn't be death metal. It would be Scandinavian metal.
More like death metal.
It would be like
So-
one of those metal bands out of like Finland or something. I don't mean to disparage anybody of Scandinavian descent. I just feel like if there were a heavy metal band named Unicorn Overlord, they're probably from Scandinavia somewhere. At any
Or
rate,
Scotland.
they do. Ooh,
The royal
ooh.
animal of Scotland is the
I
unicorn.
thought it was a dragon.
No, the
That's
That's
unicorn.
Wales.
Because
Wales.
the
I
unicorn
see
is
where
the
I screwed
natural
up.
enemy of the lion.
I
So
see where I
when
screwed up.
England said, "Hey, we're the lion," Scotland said, "Okay, then we're the freaking unicorn."
That is such a Scottish thing to do. Oh, really? I can't do a Scottish accent right now. I'm sorry. I'm just
If
Anyway.
you want to do a Scots accent, you just have to talk in your throat a little bit and you roll your R's.
That's sounds about right. Nope, I didn't get the R. I didn't roll the R. All right, we're gonna get out of here.
Cockney.
We're getting out of here. We're getting way off topics.
One more addendum.
Oh God, what? What?
My character, like just here again, I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. In communicating to the sister. So, if a world outside would need to be free and clear, but a contested world, so long it was a world that my power and influence could help secure total control of, a world in contest would not be a problem were it local to this sector. I can't see what you're pinging.
Alpha Hanetti is being pinged.
Alpha Hanetti's mine. I don't need to marry to inherit it.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. That is it for us here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly did, and it sounds like my players did as well. If you have enjoyed yourself, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and all of the other buttons that are all positive and whatnot. In the meantime, stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy dark place, a grim dark place, you may say. So you make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and your. As for me and mine, see you next time. Have a good one.
Peace. Auf Wiedersehen.